That was nice radio.
Nice radio.
When you talk to a Dell Technologies advisor, that they are focused on you. On you. They are ready to offer tailored solutions powered by Intel vPro platform to keep your small business ready for what's next.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for a pivotal role at her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology identifies the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Monica did, and that's how she found Lamont, her new project superintendent.
The job is so perfect for me. I had a career breakthrough. I would have never found this job if it wasn't for ZipRecruiter.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists. With ZipRecruiter, we get hiring results.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
2020 certainly hasn't been the year many of us were hoping for, but one thing has stayed the same. I'm Tim Sutton with Greenville Auto World, and our commitment to our customers has never wavered. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Your vehicle is a big investment, and our customers trust us to keep them up and running with outstanding service and value. We're Greenville Auto World, across from Hardee's at Bells Fork.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
You don't need a big meeting. You don't need a birthday. You don't need any excuse at all. You just need to love subs. Times 12. Order the Jersey Mike's catering box today. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
It's Jersey Mike's time. One Club Supreme? Check. What's Aaron's Way? Only $2.99 for Pepsi and Lay's? I'm in. Order your sub Aaron's Way on the Jersey Mike's app or visit a Jersey Mike's store.
Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Hi, I'm Denise Walker, and I'm a licensed insurance agent here in North Carolina. Whether you are turning 65, new to Medicare, or already have a plan, I can help you compare your Medicare options. I can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
Hidden phone trade-ins, hidden plan requirements, hidden catches. You won't find them at US Cellular because we speak fair. Plus, when you switch right now, you can get the latest phones free. Upgrade to fair. Upgrade to US Cellular. Requires new postpaid service plan, new line port in, credit approval, qualified smartphone purchase, and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month RIC. Taxes, fees, and additional terms apply.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. They thank you for your continued support and trust during these trying times. Many services can be done remotely and free pickup and delivery is available. As a Dell business partner and Apple authorized service provider, you can count on University PC Care for all your personal and business tech support needs. To make a remote appointment or to bring in your device for service at their Greenville or New Bern locations, call 558-1280 or go online at universitypccare.com.
Register for Army ROTC to be a leader and an officer in the U.S. Army. Army Reserve, or Army National Guard. You could also be eligible for a full tuition scholarship. Lead the team that makes a difference. To learn more, contact Dale Anderson at 252-622-5346 or Anderson, DAL, at ECU.edu. Paid for by the United States Army.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple!
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, happy Friday, and welcome in to Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington, and you can find us live online, pr927fm.com. You can watch us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And I got a big show for you today as we talk all things football. Talk ECU Navy with former ECU defensive coordinator Rick Smith coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Get some of his final thoughts on ECU's win over South Florida and look ahead to the Navy midshipmen. And we will talk a lot about defending that triple option. At 5 o'clock, the voice of Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium, Morgan Ahlers, will be here. We'll have a few fans to talk to at Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium on Saturday. We'll talk about that. And I'll ask Morgan about the quarterback with the last name Ahlers that's on the ECU football team. We'll see what he has to say about that. All right, so a lot of ECU talk, a lot of NFL talk here in hour number one with Tony Dunn, CarolinaCatChronicles.com. What's up, Tony?
Man, this is Cyber Thug Takeover. I got my whole crew here.
Comedy Death Ray reference.
What's
that
up, my man?
Maybe one person listening gets. Everybody should listen to Comedy
I got
Bang
Maddie Dagger over here, Gabby D.
You do have your entire crew here today.
The entourage here.
Tony's kids have infiltrated the Pirate Radio studios, and Tony, you have very well-behaved kids.
Thank you. Thank you.
So great job by you and Miranda.
Keep it up, children. We're watching.
They're smiling, they're waving. Like, did you give them happy pills or something? Like, it's almost creepy.
We did have the mandatory stop after school for snack, and everybody gets a drink.
Okay, great.
Pick their snack. That's a good afternoon for a kid.
Everything's going good. All right, we got Shirley here. We got Chandler Honeycutt here, and Chandler is wearing the shirt. Get your shirt on camera, Chandler, for everyone. You can do it right there. He's wearing, well, put your butt right on Shirley. Shirley's like, whoa. You all right, Shirley?
Okay, so
She
Chandler,
just leaned
before you
into
did
it.
it, hey, you got to turn the camera on first, Chandler.
This is going swimmingly. All right, are we good now? So, ECU versus Navy, November 6th, 2010. Of all the shirts to own, that could be the worst one.
Is that the one where they hung 76?
I stayed that whole game.
76.
poor guy.
Did you wear that shirt to the game? Why do you have that shirt?
It's a sleep shirt.
We got to
Sleep shirt. These kids these days, they don't even change out of their pajamas.
Yeah.
That's true. But you're wearing it because we are reversing the demons. We're exercising the demons.
Yeah.
Reversing the mojo.
We are changing the script this weekend.
Flipping the script. And later on in the show, we will burn that shirt while Chandler's wearing
Let's
it.
not burn the show. We have to do the show.
No, we're burning the shirt while you're wearing it, so we're burning you.
And you'll run around the studio inflamed just to get the Pirate victory.
Don't try that.
My parents are not going to be that happy when I get home today. If I'm burned up.
Yeah, you probably want to stop by the hospital on the way to your folks' house. All right, but after Saturday's result, Chandler, we won't even worry about that shirt anymore because the Pirates. Well, I picked Navy to win, but the Pirates are going to beat the midshipmen on Saturday. What do you think?
Well, according to Atticus Ferguson, formerly known as Intern Atticus, we are back. Put all your money on the Pirates this weekend, according to Atticus.
Do you still have Atticus's call, Shirley? All right, let's hit that real quick to fire me up for tomorrow's game.
You need to get with every single financial advisor that you have. need to take out every single loan that you can possibly take, every dollar you can take out of the bank, and you need to put it every single penny that you own on the Pirates against the Naval Academy next week. Because I tell you what, Mike Houston has the boys rolling, and we are going into Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium next week, and we are steamrolling the Naval Academy, and we're going to win free money, and that's a guarantee from Prada G. Clippers!
Atticus was excited after the win over South Florida the other night, Tony.
Did he move to Charlotte?
He did.
I was going to say, with that type of financial advice, I would tell his parents to go ahead and get the room ready.
Yeah. He could be hurting, or he could be living it up after the game on Saturday. A lot of excited folks in Charlotte because their Panthers are playing well, Tony. Three in a row.
It's a streak.
That is a streak.
That's what it's official. We went from losing for an entire year, 10 straight, to winning 3 in a row. It's a good feeling.
I mean, this is kind of like a repeat from last year, though, if you think about it.
0-2 start.
Then Kyle Allen saves the day, and then he didn't save the day anymore. Isn't that how it went?
Is that how it happens in Washington?
No, not exactly.
He saved the day on one run and then went down.
Gosh, he got crushed.
Poor fella.
And then Well, no, we're not talking about Washington right now. We're not going to do that. This is the Panthers segment, Tony.
Okay.
You said you do a post game show on YouTube, and folks can call in and give their thoughts like we do here on Pirate Radio after ECU games. And you said that at times it gets a little monotonous, like you talk about the same thing over and over again. I've noticed making these notes that I'm making the same notes over and over again. Teddy Bridgewater, solid game.
Yep.
Mike Davis, 111 total yards, touchdown. Robbie Anderson, 8 catches, 99 yards. It's like almost identical
to the week before.
You know what? That was the week before. This is okay. That's how identical it is. I didn't even notice that. All right, Teddy Bridgewater, 313, 2 touchdowns. Mike Davis, 159 total yards, touchdown. Anderson, 8 for 112.
So you just fooled me with the stats.
I didn't
That's
even
how
do that
close
on purpose.
they are.
I fooled myself.
Yeah.
But that is, you got to love that consistency, right?
Kind of winning recipe at this moment is that we're just doing what we do well, and that is we keep the ball. We've been winning the time of possession. In 3 out of the 5 games we've played this season, we've won the time of possession. One of those was a loss. One of those was that we didn't win it. So it's not been the only factor, but we're extending drives. Mike Davis, as he comes in, he's this sledgehammer. We had 3 7+ minute drives against the Falcons.
Wow. So
I think what you're doing in a way is, and we've been pretty good. We're 6th in the league in third down conversion rate at 49.2%, and it would be a lot better if it hadn't been for that Chargers game where we were 3-12 on third down. So that wouldn't hurt the stat line there. So we're moving, we're driving the ball, we're keeping the other offense on the sideline, and we're starting to get it in the end zone a little bit at times. It seems like it's not anything great at this point. It's like the offense is working, but it's not something that you should, fear or keep you up at night if you're a defense. And at the same time, our defense is playing faster each week, suffering injuries, though. So they're playing pretty well. I mean, you just got to be happy with the result. Well coached, pretty well executed at times, and it's fun to watch.
It's go ahead, Chandler.
I was going to say another big thing with your offense staying on the field, it's giving your defense time to rest, make adjustments on the sideline, and I think that's another big impact with us being able to stay on the field and convert those third downs, is being able to have Phil Snow kind of talk to his defense, adjust when he needs to adjust, and I think that has a lot to do with our defense's success in the past couple of weeks too.
Yeah, and when you lessen the other team's offensive possessions, it just makes each one of their possessions more valuable. So when you get a stop, you've effectively made a bigger impact on the game. Say they had 3 or 4 more possessions in that game. So I think it's kind of funny, is it's almost like what Ron Rivera would want to do. Right, long drives, keep the other team's offense on the sideline, and so it's interesting. But Robbie Anderson has been an impact player, and Mike Davis, I tell you what, the big question is, how do they figure out how to continue to use Mike Davis when Christian McCaffrey does return? because this guy's going to get paid. He's playing himself into a starting role on another team, or at least an important role. He probably will not be a Panther going forward after this because we got him on a 1-year deal and we gave Christian McCaffrey so much money. But this guy, he is a sledgehammer, man. And I want to go back and watch that ECU game where you told me that he had a 12-minute drive.
No, where he just ran
for 12 minutes. I mean, that's what he's doing in the NFL. And it's crazy. I mean, the offensive line has been playing much better than we're accustomed to in Carolina, but this guy is making it happen too. He is trucking guys out there.
Well, have you thought about what you just brought up? When McCaffrey returns, is there any way to get them both involved? And you guys have talked about McCaffrey playing in the slot, using him in a different role, to have both of those guys on the field at the same time. So Mike Davis isn't a true backup. He's a piece along with Christian McCaffrey.
They're going to have to figure it out, and Carolina has not been historically good at figuring that out and what the magic sauce is.
Well, now you got this young, hot, new coordinator guy to do that, right?
That's what we're hoping, but before Christian McCaffrey was injured, Mike Davis only had 2 carries. So it's not like they were using him before. Mm-hmm. You know, you probably need to look to New Orleans and what they do with Kamara and
Latavius Murray.
Yeah, and they've always been able to find a balance with 2 backs. So the Panthers, if they get that figured out, man, this offense could be scary.
I'm gonna look it up. I want to see how close the carries are between Murray and Kamara, because Kamara is more of a pass. It's 61-52 in favor of Kamara.
Right.
And then, of course, Kamara has 38 catches.
He's so productive, Kamara.
Yeah. But I agree. I think that's a great example of what to do with those guys, Chandler, if you have them both healthy and ready to play.
I mean, Tony, do you think we could see like a double setback with those guys?
I would love to see that.
With each guy on each hip of Teddy Bridgewater, maybe?
I would like to see it so where you could, almost have them like wishbone. My friend was telling me this, and that is you have these guys, you have one that's going out for a pass, one that could potentially just run it up the gut, Mike Davis. The problem right now, I think, is once you start doing that, then what happens to Curtis Samuel in the game plan is that he has not gotten a ton of volume, but the coaching staff has just gushed and gushed about him this week. He had 5 catches on 5 targets for 36 yards last week. 3 of them, though, were on for third down conversions, and he's been carrying the ball out of the backfield. Russell Okung with the best carry of the day, though, where he carried Curtis Samuel.
For extra, 5 yards?
Yeah. So he had 1 carry on the day. It just wasn't the football. It was Curtis Samuel.
Great to have him back, by the way.
Yes. So, you just got to figure is that, you can't apologize for having good players or great players, is what their coach said. So you don't want to be upset when you get more and more talent. But then you go, how do we feed all these mouths? And it's really Curtis Samuel's kind of been an enigma in the game plan. It's like you feel like you got to force him into it. It's just not supernatural. And Robbie Anderson has been the focal point. That's who Teddy feels most comfortable with right now, it seems.
I think he's comeback player of the year, breakout player of the year, surprise player of the year. Robbie Anderson.
Yeah. He's broken out of New York. That's what he did.
And now he led the jailbreak. Le'Veon has followed, and others.
And he wasn't vocal about it.
We've talked a lot about Adam Gase to the point where now it's like, I don't want to beat the dead horse anymore, but somebody did have a list of guys that have just really blossomed since they've gotten away from Adam Gase. And that includes some of Shirley's Dolphins with Devontae Parker and, Tannehill out of there, and like that list. And then you've got Robbie Anderson and others. And it's quite remarkable when you look at it that way.
Yeah, it shows you how unremarkable the Jets are and the Gase debacle is. And which I was thinking about this Le'Veon day. So Le'Veon gets released, and it was Tuesday during the show, maybe. It was while we were on live when it happened, when the news broke. And the first thing I could think of was, do you remember when, who was the safety? Jamal Adams?
Adams.
So Jamal Adams was talking about, like, basically how crappy their relationship was. And then Gase had a quote the next day that was like, yeah, man, I thought we had a great relationship. And I was just thinking, because it was like Le'Veon upset about his role and excited to be gone. And I just thought the next quote from Gase is going to be, man, I thought Le'Veon and me, we were boys.
Well, there was like an article about that going into the season that like, this is the media, everything's misconstrued, we're fine. And no, it's not. I mean, does Gase walk around oblivious, or does he just lie?
I think. Have you ever seen Grandma's Boy?
Yeah, I don't remember it, but yeah. But Nick Swardson,
the guy that's like the super game creator, the one that's so awkward, that's not friends with any of them. I feel like that's Adam Gase.
Tony has the best, most specific references that
nobody gets.
Yeah, that nobody.
Cyber Thug.
All right, Panthers. Oh, poor Falcons. So what's wrong with them? You got to see their offense.
They are the Falcons. That's what's wrong with them.
Like Todd Gurley had a good game, right?
Yeah. Well, what's wrong with them is they've been in love with the pass too much, and Todd Gurley sitting there, those crack tosses just gashing us.
Weren't we watching it, Chandler? And he had like how many yards per carry at one point in the game?
I was going to say 8 yards
and
per
then
pop.
They stop. They get down 1 touchdown, and they act like the game. They're down 3 scores. They just stopped going to Todd Gurley. Matt Ryan was seeing ghosts. Like something's wrong with him to where it's in his head. Because he felt pressure that wasn't even there at times, and you could see that he was just on edge. It was like no Julio, no safety blanket. He doesn't know what's going on. Their defense is a mess. There's just nothing good about that team right now other than Todd Gurley. And
maybe Calvin Ridley?
Yeah.
He went from 0 to about 8 catches on Sunday, I think.
But I'm still upset with like the national media when they look at players. I feel like they only watch highlights because they're looking at this Todd Gurley game going, oh man, this is old Todd Gurley. I'm like, no.
He's facing one of the worst rush defenses in the league.
Yeah, and you can tell is he still a back that can get it done in the league, but he is not the Todd Gurley that used to be, right? And because he broke that long run, and you're like, man, they almost caught him. That wouldn't have happened before. So, I like Todd Gurley a lot, but it just shows you how little some of these guys actually watch the games, because you can if you've watched Todd Gurley his whole career, you can say, man, he's slowing down a bit.
A lot of people listen to this show on Fridays and say you can tell how little of the games these guys watch when they listen to us.
Oh, yeah. Well, totally.
All right.
Wait until you hear my picks. You'll be like, this guy's never even seen football before.
Don't do that humble thing. You won the week last week. Yep. You're officially back. You know what you're talking about. All right. A couple of news and notes before we take a break and get on with the picks, Tony, and set up the weekend. The Patriots canceled practice today. They brought back Cam Newton, Stephon Gilmore, and Bill Murray. The actor, yeah. Defensive tackle Bill Murray. They all practiced for the first time, I guess, earlier this week after being taken off the reserve COVID-19 list. It appears as of now the game is still going to be played. Like the Broncos have been told to be prepared to play.
What do I do about Cam, man? He's been on the bench for 2 weeks for me, an important part of my fantasy football team. I kept Jimmy G in the past. He's gone.
We were talking about, because I was sitting beside your opponent, I think, on Sunday, and you made the wrong quarterback call. You should have played Minshew.
Yep.
And who'd you play?
Phillip Rivers. Ugh. I know. It was awful. It was terrible.
But you got Cam as well.
I do have Cam, and I picked up Rivers because he was playing the Browns.
Yeah.
I should have put him in. But my thing is that when is that Patriots game going to be? Is it Monday?
No, this is scheduled for Sunday.
Okay. So, you just worry in the COVID world. What happens if you're planning to start somebody?
And then
the game gets postponed? You just don't get points, right?
It burned me last week, and because I had Stephon Diggs out of my lineup because I didn't know if that game was going to be played, and it was. And I might have won if I had him in. All right, other news and notes. The Colts have reopened their facilities after 4 individuals retested negative for COVID-19. So it looks like they'll play against Cincinnati on Sunday.
Isn't it crazy how many false positives there are?
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild. Is that you heard? Like I heard that. I guess all the Cincinnati ones came back as false positives. On top of that, I mean, the only thing more bizarre than that is what happened at Georgia State.
Yeah, when they were supposed to play.
When the guy just misread the dyslexic man reading results.
But I guess the rules are different in our conference and with the AAC, where if you test positive, you can't test out of it. And I don't quite understand that, but
especially when clear, or what appears to be, I don't know, this is anecdotal, I just hear a lot of false positives, at least, and it might just be coincidentally with NFL players that they're false positives, because the NFL is going to play.
It feels like it has been brought up more in the NFL than other sports, right?
The NFL is going to chug along no matter what.
Yeah.
It's like they're going to plow through Corona, it seems like.
I said the same about the SEC, but I got to pump the brakes on that, as now it has infiltrated the SEC and Nick Saban. So a couple of games postponed this weekend. Alabama, Georgia still on for Saturday night. Are your in-laws fired up for that? Don't you got some Georgia people?
Yes, yeah.
They'll be ready for that one.
They will be excited, and you got to be happy that Nick Saban's not there for it.
Yeah,
that's advantage Georgia a little bit there.
Odell Beckham was not at Brown's practice facility today. He has an unknown illness. I read that he tested negative for COVID-19. He's got something else going on.
That's good.
Did you want to make
I'm not making any poop jokes.
He might have the runs.
Well, he might. Le'Veon Bell signs with the Chiefs. Saw a lot of Clyde Edwards-Helaire fantasy owners like freaking out about this. I am one of those, and I'm not that concerned about it. I think Clyde will still get his.
I'm just going to call him Clyde. What's his name again? Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm going to call him Clyde Edwards-Eclair, just for you, Clip.
All right, we need to take a break fast. When we return, we will make our picks for the weekend. Bears at Panthers.
Tough one.
Like you are, like Troy D said yesterday, you are what your record says you are. And the Bears are 4-1, and the Panthers are 3-2.
So that means it's going to be a good game?
Like, it doesn't feel like it should be a good game, or even an important game, but it is for both teams.
Yeah, and Nick Foles is kind of getting on a hot streak, and he's a streaky guy.
Yeah, we shall see. All right, Bears-Panthers, we'll talk about that. Washington and Giants, one of the most intriguing matchups of two of the most awful teams in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, how can the Giants be any worse? I mean, they're terrible.
We'll find out on Sunday.
When you see the worst team on the other side.
A streak will end, I think. Daniel Jones has not had a touchdown pass since week 1. I read that this week. I think that streak will end on Sunday. We'll make our picks when we return on Pirate Radio Live after.
In studio today with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. How can you help people with back pain?
Well, you know, most people are going to have back pain at some point during their life, but you don't have to live with it. A bad MRI or a bad x-ray does not mean you're destined to always have pain. We have specialists that are well trained to find out what the true problem is and the true source of your pain so they can get you on track to feeling better. So don't suffer with back pain. Our nationally board certified specialists are here to help you. To learn more, visit us at kptonline.com. We can help you live well, move more, and hurt less.
Can't make it to the game? Relax. Bostic Sugg Furniture can provide you with the best seats in the house. We have the area's largest selection of Lazy Boy motion furniture in stock and ready to go. Lazy Boy recliners, reclining sofas, love seats, and reclining sectionals in hundreds of colors, styles, fabrics, and leather, all at a very comfortable price. Remember, when it comes to Lazy Boy motion furniture, we're your ticket to the best seats in the house. Bostic Sugg Furniture in Greenville.
Hey, this is Jay from Villa Verde. Did you know that Villa Verde opened up its second location? Yes, it's Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard across the hospital. This new location is a fast casual environment where you can make your own bowls for only $9.95. Choose from our fresh ingredients from our toppings bars or enjoy an amazing rotisserie chicken. We promise you can be in and out in less than 15 minutes. For a quick, healthy meal at an affordable price, visit us at Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. The new Professional Wrestling League has promise. We'll have some thoughts next.
This football season, prepare your taste buds for the most iconic sports watching drink of all time, Pepsi. Designed to power even the most passionate of armchair quarterbacks, Pepsi has everything you need to start strong, keep you in the zone, and recover from those triumphant wins.
Before I was just your average football fan, but thanks to Pepsi, I'm a football watching MVP. Nothing can stop me from cheering my team on to victory or overreacting when the ref makes a bad call. What do you mean he wasn't in? That looks like 2 feet to me.
With refreshing deliciousness specially formulated to keep your eye on the ball and mouth-watering fizziness to help you power through game day, Pepsi is the premier football watching beverage.
I used to care when Mike cheered so hard he spilled nacho cheese on my carpet or wiped buffalo sauce on my new couch. But thanks to Pepsi, I'm so in the zone, even Mike can't ruin my football party. See? Don't even care.
So this football season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink made for football watching. Pepsi, that's what I like.
AEW, All Elite Wrestling, owned by the Khan family, owners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is just a year old. AEW produces a 2-hour weekly television show, AEW Dynamite on TNT. The announcers are none other than Jim Ross, JR, a longtime WWE employee, and Tony Schiavone. Remember him from his WCW days? There's some good young talent on the roster, and the storylines are fresh. The production is first rate, and even though the crowds are small because of COVID-19 restrictions, the atmosphere in the building is good. AEW is the first pro wrestling organization to take a swing at Vince McMahon's billion-dollar WWE enterprise. In 20 years. Certainly, this is a tough economic time. The Khan family, like all of us, never saw COVID-19 coming. So the timing is not great, but the product is good. Can they survive until we get back to some sense of normalcy? Stay tuned. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth. If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville.
This is former ECU baseball player and mayor of Greenville, PJ Connolly, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Are you in outside sales and looking for an opportunity to increase your earning potential? CopyPro has been in Eastern North Carolina for over 45 years and continues to grow each year, and they need more sales professionals with a desire to potentially make a six-figure income. Do you have what it takes? Visit copypro.net today to submit your resume and to learn more. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, back with you on a Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Got Rick Smith coming up at 4 o'clock. We will talk ECU Navy. Morgan Ahlers coming up in hour number 5 of today's show. Got some Mike Houston cuts to get to from yesterday, and we'll make one more winner for the week as we'll dive inside the Pirate Radio booty bag. What do we got today, Shirley?
Chandler and I were just talking about, I can't remember. Did we do dominoes or tiebreakers this week?
I don't remember doing either, to be honest with you.
What did we do Monday? You had one day before you had two. Yeah, that was Tuesday.
Why don't you just open the booty bag and look inside? Oh, wait.
The physical booty bag? Yeah, Shirley. Why don't you do that?
Tiebreakers.
I don't think we've done dominoes.
I think it's dominoes.
All right.
So let's just do dominoes.
Large 2-topping pizza to dominoes. I want to say we might have done tiebreakers when Troy was here on Monday.
Okay.
I think we did.
Yeah, I think we did. I need to mark these down because I can't remember squat right now.
We got an awesome prize pack coming your way on Saturday during the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Do you have that sheet in front of you, Shirley, with the awesome giveaway? We're going to have one online, and then we're going to have one during the Bud Light pregame tailgate.
Yes. We are going to, on air, we're going to be giving away a case of Bud Light, a $25 Parker's Barbecue gift card, a Pirate Radio t-shirt, koozies, and a decal. And then we're also going to do a Twitter giveaway. So you want to follow us on Twitter at PR927FM. And on Twitter, we're going to be giving away a Bud Light cooler, a case of Bud Light Seltzer, over $125 in gift cards to local businesses, a Pirate Radio t-shirt, koozies, and a decal. So we're going to do 2 different giveaways, one on the air and one on Twitter.
Awesome giveaways coming your way.
I am going to spend all afternoon making bot accounts.
All right. Tony has his Saturday planned. All right. Thank you for that, Shirley. By the way, anything at the Shirley Rhodes news desk?
No.
Okay. All right. You've been busy today. Let's see. Tony won the week last week with a 10-3 mark. Chandler and I were 9-4. Chandler, did you really pick Washington?
That was my foolish pick of the week.
Yeah.
I don't think I got one this week.
I got to stop picking the 49ers. That's what I got to stop doing.
I think so, too.
Yeah, about that time.
Tried to tell you.
Also, I got to stop picking the Falcons.
Also tried to tell you that one.
I tried to tell myself that.
You actually were the one that told me that, and I listened.
I don't listen to you or me when I make my picks. All right, I was thinking about this. You were saying the Panthers don't keep defensive coordinators up at night. Do the Bears?
Not at all.
I think Allen Robinson is a very good wide receiver, but outside of that, like, what scares you about the Bears?
Nothing.
Yeah.
They don't have a running game. Maybe
Khalil Mack, maybe?
I was going to get to that side of the ball, but offensively.
I guess
Khalil Mack's the number one
the
answer.
guy that returns kicks for them?
They got Tariq Cohen.
I think he's hurt.
Patterson.
Yeah,
Cordero Patterson.
Like, he's like their best player, all-around player.
Yeah, he does
like,
a lot
he should
of
just play
things.
quarterback.
Yeah. You're not scared of Mitchell Trubisky coming off the bench, are you?
No, I would actually. I would feel more comfortable playing Mitchell Trubisky than Nick Foles.
Well, yeah, sure.
I mean, so that's why I think the Bears are 4-1 right now, is because Nick Foles came in and gave him a boost.
Yeah,
and I know he's not. It's not the highest octane in the tank, but Trubisky was just so bad. I mean, he was terrible.
So the Panthers win 23-16. I didn't see them playing many games with that type of score. But going into Sunday, that appears the type of game we're going to see, right? Like, I don't see this becoming a shootout.
Well, you should. I mean, the evidence doesn't suggest it will be, based on the fact that the Bears have not surrendered, I don't think, more than 23 points all season, maybe, even that. Maybe their first week they were bad.
They had that comeback against the Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons, I think they gave up the most points. That might have been week 2, actually. But no, as their defense is starting to get better, right? Is that if you would have looked at them in week 1, you would have said this defense is not what I thought Chicago's is going to be. But Khalil Mack is returning to form. Robert Quinn is still good, always hurt, but still effective. And really what's impressive about this team is the secondary.
Eddie Jackson.
Yeah, Eddie Jackson. Then you got the Fuller kid and also Jalen Johnson, who is making a Defensive Rookie of the Year campaign, which that's a fun little thing right here. You get to see 2 defensive candidates for that award on the field Sunday. You got Jeremy Chin on the Panthers side, Jalen Johnson on the Bears side. Now, I think this is that I don't think we match up well against their defense either, because Teddy Bridgewater or it doesn't seem that we're interested in stretching the field that much, right? It's an underneath.
Which, again, is crazy to me that Robbie Anderson is a possession guy now.
Right.
He's never been that before.
And he can be that, but he should also be a deep threat, too.
You don't use him a lot down the field?
We don't use anybody down the field.
Yeah.
I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, he's throwing the ball. He'll go deep like twice in a game or something like that, but it's all middle and underneath stuff. Even when he has time, he'll throw the ball 3 feet. I mean, it's not going anywhere. So we're slowly, methodically going down the field, but we're not taking big chunks. And I think the problem that's going to face against the Bears is that when you feel comfortable enough in your corners and your safeties to kind of man things up, is that you're not really worried about them ultimately giving up some giant play. That's going to give you an advantage in the pass rush, and you're really going to be able to just focus on stopping the run and getting after Teddy Bridgewater. And so I think the key for the Panthers offense this Sunday is going to be Mike Davis. can he get the ball? And I think you're going to have to run up the middle against the Bears. I think that's the way to do it. Can Mike Davis be effective with the run is really going to see if that opens up our pass game. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to match up there. Our defense should be okay versus that offense, but I respect Allen Robinson, and you got to be careful. He basically was their run game last week.
Again, and I'll get to you in a sec, Chandler. It's funny to me that you have more confidence in your defense than offense in this particular matchup, because I thought going into the season you would never say that about the Panthers this year. But, Chandler, what do you think about this one?
I was going to go back to Teddy's arm strength. We've seen him go deep a handful of times this season, and I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, Tony. Every time we've seen that happen, we've seen the routes kind of break up because the receivers have to come back towards the ball. We even saw it last week when he threw to the right side of the field to Robbie Anderson, and the Atlanta Falcons defender actually hurt his ankle on that play. He had to stop his route, and I think that's actually what made the play, was for him to have to stop and get the defender for the Falcons off his feet. But, that kind of makes me uncomfortable when we go deep. You want to catch them in stride whenever you go deep.
Every deep ball is a back shoulder throw, because they're turning back and coming back to the ball. And look, I don't want to be overly critical because Teddy, put up 260 yards in the first half. But he's getting some help on these plays. Think of the DJ Moore touchdown. He ran 3 yards. The ball was only thrown 3 yards, and then he turned it and took it 56 yards upfield. So, thankfully we've got some athletes that can do that. I don't think we've run into a defense, though, that can man people up on the outside by themselves confidently, and we might be doing that. We might run into that with Chicago, and I'm worried that could cause us some problems. Teddy might have to prove himself and say, you're going to have to take some shots here, or else they're just going to load the box up. It's going to be a long day.
In the past couple of weeks, Tony, we've been praising our offensive line, and I really am afraid that this is the week that they kind of crumble, having to face Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn. But it's tough when you have that kind of pressure coming your way, but then you also have your secondary that pretty much can lock up anybody. So, that's just kind of what kind of worries me with this game.
With that said, we'll probably have to take the over here because,
I know.
It's like last week we thought there was going to be all this fireworks and there's nothing, and this week we don't think there's going to be anything. And probably Nick Foles is probably going to have 5 touchdowns.
You're right, but after that conversation, I'm seeing a 17-14 Bears victory. And it's probably way off. It'll probably.
And we saw us get off to a slow start last week. We saw something that we hadn't seen in a couple of weeks, and that was our offense was not clicking.
Right.
And I'm afraid that's how it's going to kind of start off this week. And I just hope that we are able to bounce back from that like we did last week in Atlanta. But we're not facing Atlanta this week. This is a good Chicago Bears defense, and it's going to be an uphill battle. But I'm going to go ahead and make my pick. I think I'm going Bears.
I'm taking the Panthers to just until the streak's over. I'm going to keep picking them until they lose.
All right. I will take the Bears on the road in a good game. I'm looking forward to this game. All right. Texans at Titans.
This is a tough game to pick for me. The Texans,
there's a Titans letdown or something? The Titans look amazing.
The Titans are clicking on all cylinders.
I know. The Texans, though, they drive me nuts. Sometimes their offense looks like it's going to be good, and then sometimes they can't do anything. I'm going to pick the Titans here because, man, they really put it to the Bills, didn't they?
Yeah, I blew them out, dominated. I'll take the Titans at home.
Tannehill is really connecting with his receivers. A.J. Brown is a beast, and then he has a
Tana Thrill,
excuse me. Homage to Titans fan Chad Moore.
There, yeah.
But also, they have great tight end play. Not only with Jonnu Smith, but Ferkser showed the other night that he's getting a lot of reps, too. Give me the Titans.
All right. Bengals at Colts. I'm proud of myself for picking against the Colts and taking the Browns. That was the only game I got up on you guys last week.
Boy, did they try to give it to each other all game, didn't they? It's like, I don't want – who wants to lose this game more?
Hot potato.
And did we just see Phillip Rivers and his little brother on the field at the same time, basically?
Baker, or one of his sons he doesn't know about.
Right. There you go. He's part of the family.
I really want to take the Bengals here, but I don't think I can.
Yeah, I mean, especially when they only put up 3 against the Ravens.
I'll take the Colts.
I'm gonna take the Colts as well here. But Phillip Rivers is
done.
He's done.
He's done.
He's done. All
right.
And I've been saying he's garbage for a long time. Now he just is hot garbage.
Put in Jacoby Brissett. Is he still on the roster? I think he is. Chandler?
And if not, Jacoby Forsett is awesome too.
That is.
I'll pick this as my foolish game of the week. Joe Burrow gets his first road win this weekend.
Chandler is on the Bengals. Falcons at Vikings. The Vikings have 1 win. The Falcons have no win.
0.
I will take the Vikings.
We need if Dalvin Cook's playing, I feel a lot better taking him.
He is out.
He's out? Officially out?
Yeah. I saw that today. Dalvin Cook out.
Give me the Falcons on the road.
Well, the question I was going to the Falcons or the question I was going to
let me rewind just a few minutes. I said I got to stop taking the Falcons. You said I know. You do need to stop. I told you. And now you're taking the Falcons?
Who's actually their coach right now?
Raheem Morris, obviously, their defensive coordinator. That side of the ball is looking great, right?
Oh. All right, give me the Falcons. I mean, the Vikings.
You can't stop taking the Falcons. So you want the Vikings?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk you out of anything.
I mean, before you picked initially the Falcons, I was going to bring up the question, do they get their first win of the regular season on the road without their head coach? I don't see that happening, so give me the home team.
The Texans fired their coach last week, got a win. The Falcons could keep that trend going this week.
They could.
But we're taking the Vikings. Broncos at Patriots. Will this game ever be played?
I hope so.
I've been trying to pick it for a month.
I'm pulling a Tony for the second straight week.
What's that?
The if Cam plays?
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
How about this? If Cam plays, I'm picking the Patriots. If he doesn't play, I'm picking the Patriots.
And then you're going there. So Chandler, if Cam, and I'm taking the Pats as well.
So Glenn was in a bad mood when it came in, and now Clip is in a your jokes aren't funny mood.
I'm sorry.
He's like, move on with the picks. Stop talking with your jokes.
I appreciate them, Tony.
Maybe we're in a great mood and you're the one in the wrong.
That
you ever thought of
true.
that?
That's not true.
All right. Washington at the Giants. Why am I in a bad mood? Because Washington's my favorite team.
That is an understandable thing.
That's a good reason.
And now you get to see all the things that Panther fans are mad at Ron Rivera about, like not playing young guys, terrible clock management.
Not understanding that there's a clock involved in football.
Does not understand clocks.
I mean, the guy's a great football coach. The one weakness he has, and it's not just during football games. He doesn't know what to watch. Like, he can't tell time. Nope. He's always,
You would think the smartwatches would have helped this guy about this point. I tell you, the most surprising thing to me is that I assumed for a long time that defensive coaches would have a better understanding of the clock than offensive coaches, in a way that, like, they really understand exactly how each second lends to the game. And it's not true. It turns out offensive coaches are more aware, it seems like.
I would definitely think that, yeah.
I think that, like, if you're a grind them down type of coach that wants to run the, I feel like you're always using the clock as kind of like the sideline as an extra defender, but turns out Ron Rivera hates clocks.
While we have the subject up,
and clocks,
clock management.
Is that a Coldplay song?
A perfectly executed 2-minute drill last week by Joe Brady right before the half.
Yeah,
perfectly executed.
And
can't relate.
You can't relate, and neither can the Bears either, because the Bears tried to give it away on Thursday night football against.
Last week.
Yeah. So I mean, it's strange, but yeah, Joe Brady, the man.
I'm taking Washington.
And important news: wherever Joe Brady went to elementary school, they did a good job teaching clocks.
Okay, this has nothing to do with Washington and the Giants, which I don't really want to talk about it either.
I'm going to take the Giants.
Brandon Sheriff coming back for Washington. I don't know what that means. He's our best offensive lineman.
And he's terrible. No, he's not terrible.
Well, okay.
I know I wanted him back, but your offensive line hasn't been very good.
No, they've been awful. They tried to kill Alex Smith in his return last week.
He's got a strong leg, though.
That's what, according to Aaron Donald, that MFer got a strong leg.
Is that what he said?
So
he tried to break it.
Did you see the
jumped
play
on his back?
where he's on his back?
No, I didn't. I gotta go back and
they
watch
go to
it.
the sidelines, and he's on the bench, and he's kind of chuckling, talking to his teammates, and you can read his lips. That MFer got a strong leg. It was quite comical.
Yeah, because it's made out of titanium.
Yeah, sure, it's fake. I'm taking Washington. Who you got, Chandler?
Go team. Oh,
yeah,
the team.
2 in a row.
Did Chase Young play last week?
Yeah.
Was there a week where he was out?
Yeah,
2
the week
weeks
before.
ago.
Oh, okay.
Ravens at Eagles.
Ravens here for me.
Yeah, I'll take the Ravens.
The Eagles, though, have got a little fight in them, though, don't they?
Yeah, they still got good players. They're just kind of bruised and battered, and I don't know. Who you got, Chandler?
Sweep.
Browns at Steelers. I saw today the last time the Browns won at Heinz Field, the number one song in the world, or the U.S. probably, was In the Club by 50 Cent.
Man. Well, I wonder what the song was when they started 4-1.
Okay, that was
It was
probably like
Staying Alive.
No, it was 1993 or 4.
Okay.
So it would have been like
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
None But a G Thing, or what do you think, Shirley?
No, it was Boys to Men, I'll Make Love to You.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like you want me to. So they went.
I'll hold you tight.
Who was the head coach of the Browns last time they were 4-1?
Holmgren?
No, I'll give you a hint. He might have been on the staff. He is a multi-time Super Bowl championship coach.
Belichick?
Bill Belichick. Who was the defensive coordinator? I'll give you a hint. He's a multi-time college football championship coach.
Nick Saban?
Correct.
Wow.
Well done, Tony Dunn, with the trivia.
And I will pick the Steelers here. And I also believe that they're going to cover, too. -4.
That's the line?
Yeah. Or it was on Wednesday.
Seems low.
Have you picked yet?
I'll take this. I'll take the Browns.
Yeah.
While we have this matchup up, what a performance by the Notre Dame product last week.
The
Chase Claypool.
Yeah. Gotta be honest, I don't remember him in college at all. I don't watch a lot of Notre Dame, I guess.
I remember him because my former roommate is a big Notre Dame fan, and I also knew of Troy Pryor Jr. before we drafted him because of him. And but yeah, Chase Claypool was a big-time player for Notre Dame coming out of college.
Hell of a basis, too.
Does anybody else... Les Claypool. Does any other team draft receivers as well as the Steelers? Like, every receiver they get, and that goes back to, like, when they stole Antonio Brown and Emmanuel Sanders late. Like, the Deontay Johnson looks like he's going to be pretty good.
The Steelers just get good players, it seems like.
I guess so. They know what they're doing in the front office.
And Big Ben still got a little gas in the tank, it looks like.
Big Ben, little gas. Who you got, Chandler?
Big Ben.
I like Claypool. I like the Steelers, but I'm going Browns on the road.
I say that's a Mr. Bungle.
What is that reference?
I think Les Claypool had to do with them a little bit.
Who is Les Claypool with?
Was Primus, right?
Am
I getting it wrong?
That's not like Limp Bizkit or something, is it? There's Les Claypool, American. Oh, okay, definitely not. Let's see, Les Claypool.
Is it Primus? Come on,
Primus. Yes, Tony, you're feeling it today, man.
The names, I'm getting the names right.
Well done. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We got a few picks left to make. Lions, Jags, Jets, Dolphins, Packers, Bucks.
And why aren't we going out to Boys to Men?
Because
Facebook and YouTube will not allow it.
Yeah. We would. That's a touchy
I can
subject
sing it, though.
for Shirley.
Let's do it.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Eclipse the singer here.
And now hold you tight.
We'll be right back,
Baby,
right after
all
this.
through the night I'll make love to you. Like you want me to. And I will not let
We'll make more picks right after this.
Tonight is your night. We'll be back.
Hey y'all, it's Lisa with Halloween Express, Greenville's Halloween superstore for 22 years. It's been a crazy year, but Halloween is not Canceled. We have everything you need to make this Halloween one to remember. And did someone say mask? Yeah, we have the largest selection of masks in Greenville, plus every other costume you can think of. Come visit our new location in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville. Halloween Express, what are you going to be?
It's a story that started in a community like ours. Cal Cunningham grew up in Lexington, where church youth groups working at the local brickyard and McDonald's shaped his life. And now Cal's running a different kind of campaign for the U.S. Senate.
I'm Cal Cunningham. I want my service in the U.S. Senate to be about listening and going places where Democrats don't always go. That's what I learned growing up in Lexington, where we don't check voter registration before taking care of our neighbors. We believe in hard work and service, just like the soldiers I served with overseas.
Cal Cunningham volunteered after 9/11, a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve who served 3 tours and took on corrupt government contractors. And Cal will take on the corruption in Washington that's been rigging the system for the drug and insurance companies. That's why Cal's not taking corporate PAC money, because he believes the top 1% don't need more favors. It's regular folks who need a voice. He'll be a senator on our side.
I'm Cal Cunningham, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Cal for NC.
At Tiebreakers, we admit we have a bit of a problem. People love our wings so much that they're starting to sell their home TVs just so they can watch all the sporting events here at Tiebreakers. Seriously, we're glad you love our hand-breaded, hand-cut boneless wings that much, but we really need you to go home at the end of the night. It's okay, we'll be here tomorrow. And when you come back, bring a friend with you. For great food, great friends, and cold beer, we'll see you at Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers, break the chain, eat local.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Weekdays are a great time to visit North Carolina State Parks. The best time to learn about nature is to be able to look, listen, and feel its natural beauty. A visit to the North Carolina State Parks is perfect for homeschoolers, scout groups, and teachers looking for a fun field trip during the week. You'll be amazed at all the natural wildlife you'll see when you experience the beauty of each North Carolina State Park. Visit ncparks.gov to get all the information on the closest park near you.
Hi, this is Billy Parker, and football is here. Tailgate at home with family and friends this season and let Parker's Barbecue do all the cooking. While tailgating at your house, let us provide all the food with our delicious chicken, barbecue, seafood, and sides. We can customize packages for any size group, big or small. Give us a call today and place your order. Parker's and football, a winning combination. Also shipping nationwide at parkersbbq.com. Parker's Barbecue is how friends and family come together.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in Eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar and Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
This is Brian Bailey, host of The Brian Bailey Show, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Browning Wood is your home of the best selection of GMC, Cadillac, Buick, and Mazda in Eastern North Carolina for over 83 years. Shop their entire inventory online at browningwoodauto.com or visit them on Greenville Boulevard. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, welcome back into the show. Clip Brock, Tony Dunn, talking sketty. Apparently Tony cooked spaghetti and meatballs for his kids last night and said he thought about bringing me a plate, but didn't. And I feel like that happens in my life a lot.
I mean, you could actually come back come by my house on the way home, and I'll give it to you.
I associate with a lot of people that think about doing things for me, and it's the thought that counts.
Well, last time I called and asked him if he wanted lunch, he's like, "I just ate."
Well,
there's been a couple of times.
Now, I will say that one day I went to go get something to eat for lunch, and Clip said, "Where are you going to go?" And I said, "I don't know. I haven't really decided yet." He said, "Well, wherever you go, here's some money. Surprise me." So I came back with spaghetti. He was like, "That's exactly what I wanted."
That was a great lunch surprise via
I'll hook
Shirley
you
Rhodes.
up, brother.
All right, looking forward to that.
I cook it like every week. So
we are out of time. Let's make these picks. Lions at Jags. I'm taking the
Lions.
Lions on the road,
and I think they cover 3.
Chandler.
Oh. I've already went 1-2 on y'all twice, so I'm just going to sweep here.
Excitement does make it go faster.
Jets at Dolphins.
Dolphins here, man, and I'm okay with them laying 10 points against the Jets.
That's almost crazy,
isn't it? But it's not.
I love the Dolphins in these underdog games they've been playing. I don't know about a 10-point favorite, but I'll take them
big time.
To win. Chandler?
I'm so glad I went with Fitzmagic last week, and I'm excited to go with them again this week.
All right. The Dolphins are frisky. Rodgers, Brady, Packers at Bucks.
This is going to be a good game to watch. Not one I want to pick, but I'm going to go with the Packers on the road.
Packers on the road for me as well.
But I really see I just need Tampa Bay to almost like verify that I wasn't an idiot in the first couple of weeks thinking they were going to be so much better than they are.
I'm going Bucks at home to the Packers. Got to lose at some point. This is the week.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to lose, too, when you get an extra play each. Four?
5?
4? 6? How many plays we get?
Rams at Niners. I'll take the I can't pick the Niners again. I'll take the Rams.
Yeah, Rams here. Yeah, I'm taking it. And they're only 4.5 point favorites, the Rams. Give me that.
Yeah. Tony's Mr. Gambling guy all of a sudden.
Well, I have to do this. I'm doing the segment, so I actually know it now.
I like that you're into it a little bit. How about this Monday night doubleheader, kind of a Monday afternoon doubleheader? Chiefs Bills will be at 5 o'clock on Fox and NFL Network. I don't know,
teams
Tony.
Trying to get back on track here.
Yeah,
Bills laid a goose egg.
They did.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
Chandler?
Chiefs.
I'm going to take...
It was so weird watching the other night.
And how come Le'Veon didn't sign with the Bills? That just seemed like such a better fit. I guess he just wants to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and have fun playing with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
All the former Panthers watching on Tuesday night. I kind of forgot they had Vernon Butler.
Yes,
which they can have him. But speaking of former Panther, Josh Norman got embarrassed on Tuesday night.
I feel bad for him because, his momentum was going that way. So it made it look even worse because he was already running with the stiff arm. But the problem was he went so vertical like horizontal in the stiff arm.
There's like a classic still shots of him and stuff. And the Dragonfly Jones guy I follow on Twitter, it's really funny. It was like, man, you never see a guy get stiff arm where you can see the top. One of his shoes is showing the top, one is showing the bottom. It's almost like his feet got like
disassembled.
Yeah, it was really strange looking.
I tell you this is that he's probably not going to play football ever again after that. He might play this year, but do you remember when Steve Smith did this to Fred Smoot?
Oh, I like Fred Smoot. Is that the one where Smith kind of
he ruined his career? They were talking jump before the game, and then Smitty went and put up 225 yards on him, and he ended up having to just quit football afterwards.
Is that when Smoot was with the Vikings?
Yes.
Okay. I loved Smoot with the Redskins. I'm going to take the Bills at home. Cowboys at Cardinals.
I'll take the Cardinals here, even though Andy
Dalton time, baby.
Yeah. I'll take the Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals too.
All right, there it is. Picks are in. Tony,
the Colts should have signed Andy Dalton instead.
Just
of
had
Phillip
two
Rivers.
old quarterbacks.
Well, he's not old, but Phillip Rivers was not the right move.
All right, Chandler, you're out too, right?
What's that?
Are you in? You staying here?
No, I'm out. I'm gone.
All right. Well, see you later.
Bye.
See ya. Bye. We will be talking to Rick Smith when we return, get his thoughts once again on ECU's win over South Florida, and talk Pirates and Midshipmen when we return hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Hey guys, listen up. The next 30 seconds is very important because we have an announcement. Shimmer Boutique is your one-stop shop to make you look good and thoughtful. This is Ashley at Shimmer Boutique. We specialize in men's and women's apparel and also carry the biggest selection of local hats and jewelry. From Yetis to Hey Dudes, this is the place for you. Did I mention we also have free gift wrapping? Come check us out at our new location on Greenville Boulevard behind Starbucks. Shimmer is your one-stop shop for the whole family, and we will always make your shopping experience easy and fun.
We're midway through bath time, and 2 medium 2-topping Domino's pizzas for $5.99 each have begun their drive to the Smith's front door. That's a GPS-enabled custom delivery alert, folks. The newest improvement to the Domino's tracker, saying Domino's will be there in 2 minutes. They're calling it audible. Bath time's now rinse time. They've got 1 kid dry, 2 kids dry. The pizzas are here. They made it to the door. The kids are clean enough. The new Domino's tracker with GPS worked again.
2-item minimum. Pan pizza will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
Hey Pirate fans, this is head coach Mike Houston. The physicians at Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center have been taking care of our athletes here at East Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or if it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care, physical therapy, and diagnostic testing. For experienced and professional services, call the folks who have been taking care of me and many of our fans in Pirate Nation, or visit them online at orthopedicseast.com. Go Pirates!
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico, a huge 46-ounce lime margarita for only $6.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
Summertime is here with hot temperatures, thunderstorms, and hurricanes. It's easy to recognize pests invading your home, but a lot of people forget about moisture destroying your home's crawl space. Pest Tech is celebrating its 20th year protecting your homes using dehumidifiers, professional-grade liners, and most importantly, our licensed and highly trained technicians. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com for a free estimate on moisture control and the other silent destroyer, termites. Trust your home to the best. Pest Tech of Greenville, your East Coast exterminating professionals.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Hey, banking is banking until the service is not the same. This year has been unusual, but at Select Bank and Trust, they have continued to focus on what's always been important to them, their customers. Wouldn't you like to deal with a bank that is responsive to your needs, can make local decisions, and cares about you, the customer? Try Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, welcome back into Pirate Radio Live on a Friday. Clip Brock here with you. We got some baseball beginning at 6 o'clock. Astros and Rays, Game 6. The Braves will try to close out their series with the Dodgers tonight, and they're not throwing out the first pitch till 9:08, and I have to be here at 8 a.m., so I'm not happy about that start time, but I'm going to watch as much as I can tonight. Also, a couple football games. SMU at Tulane at 6 o'clock. At 9:30, BYU in Houston. So pretty good college football night as well. Rick Smith joining me here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Hello, Coach.
Hello.
You doing all right?
Doing great.
Still feeling good after that win on Saturday?
Yeah, that was good. I know our players needed it, and the coaches probably needed it more than the players.
Yes, sir. That was a big relief for those guys, and it leads to a fun week for us and a positive week at practice, although there's been, I guess, some, and we'll hear from Mike Houston as there are some a situation going on with possible COVID test and positive COVID test with the football team. I tell you what, Mike Houston, let's hear his comments from yesterday, Shirley, and what he had to say on his Zoom.
Finished up with Thursday practice. Had a good week of practice this week. Guys are excited for Saturday. It's good to be back at home. Really excited that we're going to have 3,500 fans or so here in the stadium Saturday. It's not 50,000, but it's better than 300. So it'll be good to get some Pirate faithful back in Dowdy-Ficklen so they can cheer on our group. And obviously we have a very challenging opponent coming in here, but it's the one that we're very, very excited about the matchup with. So should be a good one.
Mike Houston there, Coach Smith. I don't know what 3,000 fans, if they can have an impact on the game, but it's better than zero, right?
Amen. I mean, it's like a spring game. You know,
yeah.
Spring game we usually had around 2,800, 2,000. I'm at 3,000. So, yeah, I can assure you 3,000 is better than none.
Also, an update on the COVID test. This is Mike Houston was asked about that and where they stand right now.
Very encouraged by Wednesday's test. No positives, so everybody that tested Wednesday was negative. So that's promising. And then we got one more round of testing tomorrow morning before everyone makes the decisions. But right now, I would anticipate us being locked in and ready to go at 12 o'clock on Saturday.
All right, there is Mike Houston. Game on for Saturday at noon at Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. Pirates taking on Navy. And again, kind of the off-the-field stuff getting in the way of the on-the-field stuff this week. And we're not going to know officially until the Pirates take the field for practice before the game on Saturday, Coach, because, there's no injury report anymore. And I don't even know. We used to have one, I remember, 5, 6, 7 years ago maybe, and I don't know if I don't think it's mandatory in college football.
They did away with it. Matter of fact, the last year I was coaching, which would have been 4 seasons ago, the last year that I was coaching, it's not mandatory anymore. Whereas it used to be, every team had to submit an injury report on a Tuesday and Thursday.
And you do your probable, questionable, doubtful, right. That kind of like the NFL does, and which it is mandatory in the NFL. And you coached in what, the World League Pro? So how's it different pro in college when it comes to injuries and reporting them like that?
Well, the thing when I was coaching in NFL Europe, we had all the same rules that they had in the NFL because we were like a AAA.
Right.
You had to report them, you had to give a kind of a supplemental report on Sunday, and then you had to give them the real thing on Tuesday. Now, see, we only had, you could only have 54 active players. And then like you had another 6 that practiced every day that were there. And then we had about 10 or 12 that were back in the United States that we could call and get over there if we needed them in a day or two. But it was, I didn't realize it because, in college, as a defensive back coach, I had, usually 18 to 20 defensive backs, and all of a sudden I'm coaching in the NFL and I got 8 for 4 positions. Mm-hmm. Now, you throw a nickel in there.
Yeah.
Now, we played nickel 90% of the time. I got 8 guys for 5 positions. I had to double teach, corners at safety and safeties at nickel, and stayed up late at night.
Rick Smith joining us here inside the Pirate Radio studios. And Shirley, I want to hear from Blake Harrell, because I want to get his thoughts on facing the option this Saturday, and we'll get Rick Smith's thoughts as well. Blake Harrell won, Shirley. He was asked about the preparations for the triple option.
It's in some ways it's like every other week. You just kind of got to get to focus on your opponent. You got to get familiar with them, what they do, how you think they're going to attack you. Make sure your kids understand the plan, know the plan, feel comfortable with the plan, and then go execute it. And execute it with great effort and great energy and, great execution, and go from there. So it's, for me, it's been very familiar. It's just, it's what you're used to. It's kind of what you spent the last, 12, 13 years doing. And now it's just getting our kids comfortable and used to it. And they've done a great job with that this week, and just kind of building on it every day. And you can see them feeling more and more comfortable. Light bulbs coming on for them, and they're really playing fast right now.
Well, Blake Harrell had a good line this week, Coach, where he said, it doesn't matter what I know. It's if I can teach the kids what I know and teach them what to prepare for. And that's his challenge coming up on Saturday, right?
I always felt like the toughest thing on the option was the blocking. You just don't see that against anybody else. Their receivers, they're going to stalk block.
Which is what?
Which is they're going to run right at you and just kind of, they do everything but tackle you, but they stay in front of you, and they actually grab and hold, stalk block. And then the next thing they do is run at you, they're going to stalk block, they're going to cut your knees out. And then they have a lot of things where, like, if there's 2 receivers over there, that outside widest receiver, he's going to crack. He's going to block inside, and the inside receiver's going to arc block outside. So they cross block. That was the toughest thing for me as a secondary coach, was just to get ready for I got to get off those blocks and make tackles.
Now, and if you can, it's legal to cut block. Now, I guess if there's a lineman engaged with a defensive player and then another guy goes low, that is illegal.
Inside the tackle box.
Inside the tackle box. Outside the tackle box, it's...
Well, inside the tackle box, there can't be a double team block.
Oh, okay. Period. Okay.
Can't be one.
And but we see that cutting, and we've talked to coaches and players throughout the years, and I mean the players hate it, right? Facing those blocks every time you play Navy.
That's always the toughest thing, is your players in the back of their mind, they're worried about their knees.
Yeah.
Because they cut block, they cut and scramble block. I don't know if people know what a scramble block is, but they'll, like, if I'm the offensive guard and I've got a defensive man lined up on my outside, then I'm going to step wide and try to reach his outside, the defensive tackle's outside thigh, make contact with my shoulder pad, and then scramble block, which I'm just going to be on all fours as an offensive lineman and try to keep him tangled up. And they are much, they're usually, I check their offensive line, they got 3 offensive linemen that are 6'2", in the 285 range, and then they got 2 of them are 6'3", about 290. I think they had one player that was 303. He was the 6'6" kid. They had one offensive tackle was 6'6", 303. And it's a block that the toughest thing is getting your scout team.
I was going to ask you this, yeah.
Get your scout team to run that offense against your defense. I mean, it's just very, do you have an option quarterback?
So you're teaching your kids how to defend the option with the scout team. Who's teaching the scout team to run this offense? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that was the tough thing.
Yeah.
Like, we used to, during open date, that's all we worked on was coaching our scout team, just for Navy. And then not during the summer, but during the spring, we also spent a week on Navy or Army. It used to be Army too, but it's just very difficult to get your scout team to run the option against your defense.
Yeah, and good news is Mike Houston has coached against it. Blake Harrell's coached against it quite a bit. So, again, they're familiar with it. It's just a matter of teaching the kids what they know and going out and executing it. Shirley, let's hit Blake Harrell, too. What's the single toughest thing about stopping the option? Because you got the quarterback, you got the fullback, you got the pitch man. What's the toughest single thing about it?
You know what? I think for some guys, you're used to getting 11 hats to the ball. There's only one threat on a play. You think about the previous 3 or 4 weeks there, and everybody gets the ball, everybody gets the screen play, the stretch play, whatever it may be. Now it's, hey, this guy does his responsibility to tackle the dive. Now this guy does his responsibility to tackle the quarterback. Now this guy does his responsibility to tackle the pitch. So you kind of got 3 different layers to it. So that adds a little bit of uniqueness and discipline to it. But at the same time, it's football.
It's football. They starting to sound like Rick Smith now. It's simple. It's easy. Good news, there's no Ricky Dobbs or Keenan Reynolds or Malcolm Perry at quarterback. So that's the good news. The bad news is, look, it's still the option, and ECU has had trouble stopping it over the years. Is there one thing you want to take away more than others, whether it's the QB, the fullback, the pitch man, or is it really all those things are equally important?
They're all equally important, but I always felt like we have to stop the dive because the dive is running vertical right at you. How many times have you seen an option team just right up the middle, they go 60 yards? Because when that play snap, that secondary is moving. Because like if they're running a play to the right, that backside safety's coming over to check the number 2 receiver for a play action pass. The safety that was there is coming up to take either the quarterback or the pitch, and the corner's taking on the stop block. So, I mean, it's true assignment football, and everybody that has an assignment is also getting blocked. So you gotta destroy the blocker, keep your leverage if it's inside or outside, and somebody's got to make the tackle.
So it's a triple option with the QB, the fullback, the pitch man. But how many different scenarios can happen in one option play? You know what I mean? Like, it's assignment football for the defense, but does their assignment change depending on what Navy's doing?
Yeah, you can change up your calls. You know, like on, for instance, in your secondary, you may have your safety on the pitch, and then the next time you may put your safety on the quarterback.
Right.
We even had calls where we could put the safety on the dive. Well, if you put the safety on the dive, that outside linebacker's got to take the quarterback, and then the corner would be on the pitch. But what's tough, no matter what you do, they're prepared for it.
Right.
I mean, it's really, and you only see it once a year. So, and that's something else. You know, back in the 80s, the early 80s and the late 70s, everybody was running the option. You know, it was the wishbone for years, and then all of a sudden it went to the split back veer, and everybody knew what to do because your offense was running it, so you went against it every day. And then all of a sudden the option went away because everybody caught up with it. And then all of a sudden, 20 years later, you got a few the middle. And it's an equalizer.
Right.
You know,
if Navy tried to run a traditional offense, they would not win as many games.
They would struggle.
Right.
And Georgia Tech's finding that out.
Yeah.
You know, for years, Georgia Tech was wishbone or some type of option, and now they're trying to, but they don't get the recruits that everybody else gets because it's so tough to get in that school academically.
And they're having to adjust on the fly with Jeff Collins in year 2 now.
Yeah.
And you know, ECU's got their issues, but how about Navy? Their defense is facing the option every day in practice. They've got to have some pretty good scout teams to show, like an air raid offense or something like that. It's a different look. What about the Navy perspective? Because the last couple of years, they've been very good defensively.
You know, that's something that shocked me was the Air Force score.
Right, yeah.
Now, and I could be wrong, but I believe Air Force is still running the option.
A version of it, yeah.
Version of the option, and I'm sitting there thinking 40-3.
You should know at least what's coming, right? Well, that's the thing with this Navy team. They have been blown out twice by BYU and Air Force, but they're 2-0 in conference games. Yeah. Tulane, and they knocked off Temple last week.
You know, and BYU, now, through the years, BYU's going to have a run where, you know, 2 or 3 years they're going to be really good, and then they're going to struggle. and then all of a sudden they'll come back. And last year they weren't very good. This year they're coming. They what are they, undefeated right now?
Yeah,
and,
they are 14th in the nation.
Who was the other team that beat?
Talking about beating Navy,
Yeah.
BYU and Air Force
Air
beat
Force.
them.
And Air Force has been good for years.
Yeah.
I mean, they hardly ever have a down year.
And you want to talk about preparing for one game, but Air Force is in the Mountain West Conference. They decided they are going to come back and play, but at that time it was scheduled. They were only going to play the
Right.
Commander-in-Chief's
I
trophy
forgot
games.
about that.
So they were all in on Navy.
Yeah.
They were ready for
That's all
that
they
one.
did for a month.
Exactly. Speaking of which, you don't just start the option prep this week. It's been going on a while, and Mike Houston pointed out that right when Blake Harrell was brought in as defensive coordinator, they got started on preparing for the option. Blake Harrell was asked how long that prep has been going on.
Certainly. I told our guys we probably spent more time on this single opponent than we have anybody on our schedule, and just because of the uniqueness of the offense. Practices every day during fall camp, and then every week spend some time on it with our players in practice, watching film with it. So it's been a game that, just because of the uniqueness of the offense, that you have to circle and kind of prepare for it all season long until you face that opponent.
Coach, and you've kind of touched on this too, how much time you focus on this option offense. Anytime you make free time for it at practice, and when do you work on it, like during the off season?
Well, like during spring practice, we would spend, during spring you got 20 days. Well, 5 days was nothing but Navy.
Wow.
We would actually, all the film, all the meetings, we went the whole week preparing just for them, and then we had a scrimmage, that Saturday or that Friday. The scout team ran the offense, and it was like we had two scrimmages going on at once. Our offense was running our offense against the scout team defense, and then the scout team offense was running the Navy against us.
Right.
And that was the whole week.
Wow.
During spring practice. And then during your 29 practices in the fall leading up to your first game, we would always take 1 day a week for 3 weeks. So we got 3 more practices, in the fall.
Does it concern you that there was no spring ball this year and the off season was so disjointed? I mean, is that
yeah, that's
issue?
not going to help us any.
Yeah, that could be a factor. All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll talk more about this option attack that ECU will see coming up Saturday when they take on the Navy midshipmen. More with Rick Smith on Pirate Radio Live. We're
Hey guys, are you tired of tagging along with your wife or your girlfriend when you need a pedicure or manicure? Do you feel intimidated being the only guy in a female nail salon? If so, then I have the solution for you. The Man Cave is now open. I'm Amanda, and I've opened the Man Cave to give men a spot just for them and for their grooming needs. Come relax in our comfortable masculine atmosphere and enjoy some free drinks and snacks during your nail service. The Man Cave, next to Lighting by Design on Fire Tower Road in Greenville.
Banking is banking until service is not the same. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust, and this year has been unusual, but we have continued to focus on what has always been important to us, our customers. When businesses needed access to the Paycheck Protection Program, our team of local bankers worked around the clock to successfully keep our customers open and their employees working. Wouldn't you like to deal with a bank that is responsive to your needs, can make local decisions, and cares about you, the customer? We are Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water-soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get auto, home, life, and business insurance all from one agency? Well, that's where the Gavigan Agency comes in. They can help protect what is important to you. So why not simplify your life? See the Gavigan Agency in Greenville or give them a call today at 252-756-1400. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Subject to underwriting guidelines, review, and approval.
2020 certainly hasn't been the year many of us were hoping for, but one thing has stayed the same. I'm Tim Sutton with Greenville Auto World, and our commitment to our customers has never wavered. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Your vehicle is a big investment, and our customers trust us to keep them up and running with outstanding service and value. With Greenville Auto World, cross from Hardee's at Bell's Fork.
This football season, prepare your taste buds for the most iconic sports-watching drink of all time, Pepsi. Designed to power even the most passionate of armchair quarterbacks, Pepsi has everything you need to start strong, keep you in the zone, and recover from those triumphant wins.
Before I was just your average football fan, but thanks to Pepsi, I'm a football-watching MVP. Nothing can stop me from cheering my team on to victory or overreacting when the ref makes a bad call. What do you mean he wasn't in? That looks like 2 feet to me.
With refreshing deliciousness specially formulated to keep your eye on the ball and mouth-watering fizziness to help you power through game day, Pepsi is the premier football-watching beverage.
I used to care when Mike cheered so hard he spilled nacho cheese on my carpet or wiped buffalo sauce on my new couch. But thanks to Pepsi, I'm so in the zone, even Mike can't ruin my football party. See? Don't even care.
So this football season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink made for football watching. Pepsi, that's what I like.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
Hey everybody, this is David Glenn, and you're listening to my favorite station in Eastern North Carolina, Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. PRL this afternoon is brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Broad.
All right, talking some option football with Rick Smith today on Pirate Radio Live. Coach Smith will be with us after the game on the U.S. Sailor 5th Quarter Call-In Show coming up on Saturday, recapping ECU and Navy, a series that has not gone ECU's way. The lowest point total Navy has scored in this series. Coach Smith was on the staff at East Carolina. I believe it was the season opener in 2006. Navy 28, ECU 23. So Navy only scored 28 points that day. Since then, Navy has scored 76, 35, 56, 45, 66, and 42. Just have not been able to stop that option attack. And Coach Smith is trying to give us some pointers on how we can go about doing that this week. And, Coach, we talked about the most important thing to stop. Is one position group more important than any other for our defense on Saturday? D-line, linebackers, secondary. What group needs to have the best day to stop the option?
Probably the secondary.
Coming up, making tackles. And
yeah. You know, of course, you know, I would never say that to the total defense because if your secondary is playing really, really good, and it's basically they're responsible for the pitch, and sometimes the quarterback, if you don't stop the dive, you know, up front,
that's the number one.
That's the number one thing is stopping the dive. You know, that fullback, you know, and it's dive is the first thing you got to stop because that's the first guy that's going to get the ball. Dive, quarterback, pitch. And they do a great job of blocking the perimeter. And they got, you know, It's not just one blocking scheme. They just don't come out and like the widest receiver blocks the corner and the second widest receiver blocks the safety or the outside linebacker. If they'll cross block it, they'll crack both guys and bring a third guy outside and kick out. And if you're playing just the basic blocking schemes really well, that corner's coming up, taking on that stalk block and driving him straight back, throwing him inside and making the tackle. I can assure you that next time that receiver's either going to release and go deep to get you out of there, or he's going to go crack the safety, and that number 2 guy's going to come around and arc block you. So, and then sometimes they'll take both the 1 and 2 receiver and block them down inside and bring the arc back or the guy in the backfield on the corner.
I'm always terrified of that pass over the top. And last week, Navy threw the ball 2 times and 2 for 2, 48 yards, had a long of 36, so they hit him one time. But I feel like against ECU over the years, they average about 5 to 6, maybe 7 at the most throws. Yeah. And man, they make them throws count though, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They'll lull you to sleep running the ball, and then all of a sudden, 60-yard touchdown. The year we beat them, we hammered it to our players all week, and I kept telling my guys, I said, we may give up 1, but that's all we can give up. And if I remember correctly, we gave up 1 for 24 yards, and that's the year we beat them.
Well, it looks like now stopping the fullback, as you've talked about, is going to be the key. At least that was what they did last week against Temple. Nelson Smith, 20 carries, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's a fullback. The other fullback, Jamel Crothers, 15 carries, 53 yards, touchdown. They don't have that dynamic quarterback they had last year. So it looks like, at least last week and maybe throughout the year, they've been relying on the fullback.
Well, they always are going to rely on the fullback because that's the first part of the option. And if they're making 3 to 4 yards of crack, then they're going to give it to the fullback until you stop him.
The math adds up, right? Yeah. You get 3 or 4 a play.
First down.
Yeah.
And the clock's running. And you're keeping your defense. They're keeping their defense off the field.
Speaking of the clock, let me give you their first drive last week, Coach. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. It might make you cringe.
It's probably 12 plays, 7 minutes.
Let's see. Where is I think it was 17 plays, if I'm not mistaken. Let me pull it up from last week. And it took around 9 minutes. The exact number, 17 plays, 9 minutes, 38 seconds. That was the first drive of the game. So they've taken up almost the entire first quarter at that point.
Yeah.
And you were talking about possessions, and that a great stat you brought up from last week. ECU dominated time of possession last week against South Florida.
Yep. And that's just and I know the offensive coaches used to get mad at the defensive staffs that I've been on. Like Greg Hudson would tell them, and I would tell them, if we win this game, it's going to be because y'all keep us off the field. That means you may have to change a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You can't throw the ball every snap unless you're scoring touchdowns.
And Shirley, let's go Donnie Kirkpatrick 3. He was asked this. I don't know if he actually answered it, but he kind of rambled like Donnie does, gave us a great answer. But he was asked that, Coach, do you go up tempo, high flying, try to put points on the board, or because it's Navy, do you try to keep the ball a little longer? Do you slow it down a little bit? Here's what he had to say.
Well, first of all, you hit on it. You have to outscore them or you can't win the game. That's the only way to win the game is to outscore them. Now, you could outscore them 3-0. You could outscore them 103 to 100, I guess, but you got to try to outscore them. The thing you have to do with this offense is you have to make your possessions count because you're not going to get many of them. Last week, what did we get? 3 or 4 possessions in the first quarter, and you get maybe 3 or 4 a half. When you play a team like this because they control the ball, they don't stop the clock very much. And, unless you can get some turnovers, and then they'll go for it. To them, 3rd and short is, great, or they like 4th and short. So they'll keep the ball. And so you have to make your possessions count. You can't turn it over, obviously. Now, I think we have to be aggressive, but aggressive, what does that mean? That doesn't necessarily mean throw, run. You have to kind of take what the defense gives you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If they're playing pass, you got to run it. And if they're taking the run away, sometimes you got to throw it. So, again, we always talk about, we just try to be balanced. Balance means having the ability to do either one well. The game kind of dictates. We didn't throw it as much last week, and we scored more points. That was good. The week before we threw it 50 times. You know, you don't want to throw it 50 because you have to throw it 50. If we throw it 50 because we want to throw it 50, I'm great with that. That'd be good. If that's what they're giving us, that's what we got to take. That probably wasn't much of an answer to your question there. I'm sorry, but that's what we do every week. So I don't know.
All right, so there's Donnie Kirkpatrick. One thing he did say there, obviously you have to make your possessions count. You don't get a whole lot of them, and he mentioned to me that, you know, sometimes you'll get the ball maybe 3 times a half against Navy, and you got to make every single one of them count.
Just a normal, and for years I've done this, but you're going to average, as a defense, you're going to average playing 12 series a game, which most offenses are going to, you know, 12 series a game. So it's going to average out to be. You know, one week you may play 15 series, and another week you may play 9, but it's going to average about 12.
Yeah.
And these guys, you know, may wind up having 15. You give somebody 15 chances. You know, that was what I used to tell our defense. I said, guys, we're going to play 12 series. I'll be real happy if we only give up 3 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. That means we stopped them 9 times. That's 70% of the time. And I'll take 70%.
And Navy very proficient at running this thing, and once it gets going, it is tough to stop. You can't fall behind to these guys too, right, Coach? I mean, You hate to fall behind against anybody, but when they can kill the clock like they can, a 2-possession lead almost feels like a 3-possession, 4-possession.
Plus, like Donnie said, you know, I don't know how many series Donnie and them have had this year, but they're probably averaging 13 or 14 series a game, and if they go into this game and they only get 8, that's going to be a long day for the defense. Because if the offense isn't on the field, the defense is on the field.
Blake Harrell, 5, Shirley, he was asked how his previous coaching jobs helped him understand how to stop the option.
Yeah, I think anytime as a football coach you get a chance to see a certain offense every day in practice, whether it be spring ball, fall camp, or it helps you be familiar with how they're trying to attack you, or the things they like to do, why they do it, and maybe just understanding the offense. You know, at the same time, we always have a saying that it's not what you know, it's what your players know. And that's the important part this week is we got to get our players to understand, you know, our fits, our scheme, and what we're looking for on game day. So that's important. And they're doing a great job with that. And I'm really pleased about where we are at this point in the week.
All right, there is Blake Harrell. It's not what you know, it's what your players know. And he's trying to teach them.
Well, I can tell you our players will know what to do. But the toughest thing to get ready for is to get your scout team, the Navy offensive scout team, to come out and give the defense a great look. Now, no matter how good they do, they're not going to be even close to the way Navy blocks. They will block our perimeter. You watch the first quarter, our corners are going to go down like chopping wood. Our damn safeties are going to go down. They do a great job of blocking the perimeter. It'll take our secondary a while to adjust to that because they haven't seen it from the scout team. I'm telling you, I've been there, you know, for 40 years doing that stuff. And
so you go into a game expecting that to happen almost, and then saying, all right, now we're ready, right?
Hang in there.
Right.
Hang in there. Because again, I mentioned it earlier in the show, you can't get a scout team to give you that look. The speed of the scout team is only going to be 60% of what they're going to see from the Navy offense. And it's going to take our defense a while to get comfortable with the speed of the game because they haven't seen the speed of the game from our scout team.
And it has gotten away from the Pirates in the past, and this has nothing to do with Blake Harrell, but he was asked about it. You know, what do you do to keep Navy from scoring in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and even 70s like we've seen in the past? And here's what Blake Harrell said.
Well, I always tell our guys the big thing we talk about in our locker room is don't look in the rear view mirror at the past years or the past game or the last play. Always look out the windshield. That's the first thing we talk about is just, hey, it doesn't matter about the past, whatever previous years, what happened, what didn't happen, what went wrong, what went good, what went, everything. And that's kind of the mentality that we've been building all along. But at the same time, you're going to get limited number of possessions against those guys, and you got to get some stops. You got to win the first down, put them in long yardage situation, keep them off schedule, put them in second long, third and long. If they get you in second, medium, third and short, then they're in their comfort zone. That's where they operate best. But if you can get them behind the chains, behind the sticks, then you got a chance to get them off the field. So that's kind of been our focus and what we kind of looking at the windshield at.
And that's a great point. It's pretty obvious, Coach. But, man, a 3rd and 8 against Navy, it would be a great thing. It's just tough to get them in that spot, right?
Yeah.
They almost have to make a mistake. That's another thing, too. The refs don't call a lot of holding or penalties on Navy. They always seem to get their 3, 4, 5 yards, and they don't make a lot of mistakes.
I think all the officials were in the Navy.
Maybe that's the case.
They're all ex-military Navy.
Yeah, because look, your defense can force a big play, but they don't have a lot of those unforced errors, right? Even their pitches and everything. Right. It's a clean operation for the most part.
And part of it is those type of men they have at Navy. They're disciplined in every walk of their life, and I've always just. My dad was in the Navy, and then he was in the Coast Guard for 20 years. And I've always just loved anything about the military. And I've always pulled for the Army, the Navy, the Air Force Academy, except when I had to play against them.
Right.
I wish they'd win, every game except when I was coaching against them.
Yes, sir. Yep. That's the same way I feel about it, too. So we'll see what happens Saturday at noon. We'll talk more about it with Coach Rick Smith. We'll see what notes he's got on his folder today regarding last week and regarding this game. And maybe a little bit more from Donnie Kirkpatrick, Mike Houston as well. As we roll on, Pirate Radio Live, we're back with you after this.
It's a story that started in a community like ours. Cal Cunningham grew up in Lexington, where church youth groups working at the local brickyard and McDonald's shaped his life. And now Cal's running a different kind of campaign for the U.S. Senate.
I'm Cal Cunningham. I want my service in the U.S. Senate to be about listening and going places where Democrats don't always go. That's what I learned growing up in Lexington, where we don't check voter registration before taking care of our neighbors. We believe in hard work and service, just like the soldiers I served with overseas.
Cal Cunningham volunteered after 9/11, a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve who served 3 tours and took on corrupt government contractors. And Cal will take on the corruption in Washington that's been rigging the system for the drug and insurance companies. That's why Cal's not taking corporate PAC money, because he believes the top 1% don't need more favors. It's regular folks who need a voice. He'll be a senator on our side.
I'm Cal Cunningham, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Cal for NC.
Hi, this is Scott Muller with Clean Eats. Carol and I would like to personally thank all of you for supporting Clean Eats so well through these tough times. We are blessed to have such a great community helping us weather the storm. If you're having trouble consistently eating healthy, go to cleaneats.com and click on meal plans and give our tasty and affordable meals a try. Or stop by the cafe for lunch and let us show you just how simple and easy it is to get started and stay on track. Clean Eats, it's a lifestyle. 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
Here today with the closed hand, also known as Denton Hardy to his friends and family. Why F3?
Because at a time in my life when I need a little bit of purpose and to get up in the morning and to get going for the day, it helps me.
One letter, one number, F3. Fitness, fellowship, and faith. All workouts are free of charge and open to all men. Leave no man behind, but leave no man where you find him. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
You can paint these peaches purple!
Classic sports moments never get old, and neither does classic food from CPW's. CPW's classic menu is bagged with all of your favorites like tortellini CPW's, Cajun chicken and pasta, classic lasagna, the garbage pizza, the stromboli, calzone, Atlantic salmon, the Cajun fried shrimp wrap, and more. Start every meal off with your favorite beverage and CPW's fresh baked bread and garlic butter. CPW's, serving classics in Greenville since 1995, Stanton Square near the hospital. It's time to get back in the saddle with Rocking Horse Ranch. Join us Saturday, November 14th for an evening filled with games and prizes to support the reopening of the Rocking Horse Ranch Therapeutic Riding Program. Rocking Horse Ranch provides a fun and unique therapy program to our special needs, cancer, and veterans community. The horses miss their favorite students and can't wait to see them again soon. And Rocking Horse cannot do this without you. Join us November 14th to get back in the saddle or visit rhrnc.com for more information.
The fun place to dine out with friends and family is Familia. Familia has something for everyone and offers favorites like New York-style pizza, lasagna, homemade meatballs, plus new specials like chicken parm alfredo, mahi fish and chips, chicken piccata, veggie burger, butternut squash ravioli, and more. If you need food to go, Familia's drive-thru window is open and ready for all takeout orders. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
Pirate Radio.
And you write that down, because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it!
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Well, let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop off your phone on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Braun.
Cellular where? Cellular Warehouse. There you go, folks. All right, Shirley Rhodes. Always a treat when the big dog, Glenn Griffin, is on the video production. Rocking the old school logo on the hat. I like that hat. I gotta get me one of those. All right, Rick Smith is here inside the Pirate Radio studios. We're talking ECU and Navy, and Coach, this is probably a dumb question.
Probably is coming from you.
So yeah.
Just kidding.
I like it.
Would you like some toast with your jam?
I think you missed that.
Would you like some jam with your toast?
You face Houston in that championship game here. Case Keenum, he's going to get his 400 yards passing and all that. Would you rather face that high-flying offense or Navy? Which is easier for you to defend? I figured I'd ask anyway.
Yeah.
This is probably the last thing you want to see as a defensive coach.
Yeah, because you never see it.
Yeah. And it's been tough to stop in the past. How about, and it kind of stinks, Coach, too, right? Because ECU had their best defensive game of the season last week. You're feeling good about what you're doing, and you kind of have to scrap it all for 1 week, right?
Yeah.
And throw that out. But they did a great job last week. Held an opponent under 100 yards rushing. Which you want to talk about hitting your goals. They
doesn't happen very often.
Right.
You know.
They're able to do that, control the clock, run the football themselves. And you brought up a key stat about Navy. They're giving up a lot of yards on the ground this year. if ECU can keep that rolling, we might have some success tomorrow.
Yeah, Navy's not the team they've been in the past, and it kind of shocked me when I looked at their. They start like 7 seniors on offense, so I kind of shocked me they weren't as good on offense. But now their defense is averaging, giving up 37 points a game. Their defense is giving up, out of 179 runs this year, they're averaging giving up on defense every time somebody runs the ball against them 6.2 yards, which is way too many. 275 yards a game they're giving up running the ball.
Wow.
Now passing, they're giving up 167. They're giving up 442 yards a game.
Those numbers probably a tad skewed because of Air Force maybe, but point being, that's 6 yards a rush. I mean, BYU bullied them that first game. Tulane was dominating. They were up 24-0 at halftime.
Got beat.
Blew the lead, and Temple was able to put 29 on them last week.
Well, again, BYU ran the ball 49 times against them for 301 yards. You kind of throw that out because BYU's special. But now Tulane ran the ball 44 times for 265 yards, which is too many. And of course, Air Force is pretty good. They ran the ball 53 times for 369 yards. But now Temple, they ran the ball 33 times for 166 yards, which I used to always tell my defense, like we would look at who we were playing. And I know the game's changed. I've been retired 3 or 4 years, but I would probably going against Temple, or I'd say, okay, we're going to give up. Our goal is to hold them to 130 yards rushing and 250 yards passing. Now, we used to play, when we would play Navy, we would tell our defense, hey, we got to give up less than 100 yards passing. And we can't give up any plays over 30 yards in the passing game. And we can't give up over 350 yards rushing, because they're going to rush the ball, 70 times and throw maybe 10 passes. That's just the way you would change your goals a little bit depending on who you were playing.
So the 166 last week on 33 carries for Temple. I mean, that you can live with that, right?
Yeah, you can live with that.
Yeah. So they played, I guess, better last week. That was Temple's first game too. So it's it's hard to kind of tell what kind of net team Navy has with their weird schedule and who they've played so far.
Well, like BYU right now is undefeated.
Yeah, 14th in the country.
And Air Force is undefeated. Mm-hmm. They scored 10 points in those 2 games, a touchdown against Air Force and a field goal against BYU. So if you're getting ready to play these guys, you really spend a lot of time breaking down Tulane and Temple. Mm-hmm. What did they do?
Well, that's a good point too, and I guess it did end up being Temple's first game, but BYU, their opener was against Navy, extra prep time, and then Air Force, their only game on their schedule at the time.
Right.
So they were able to, and Air Force knows about the option anyway. So
right, because that's what they are. They used to be. They're not anymore.
And we've even heard Mike Houston and others say this week that they've kind of thrown away the BYU film as far as that game. It was, remember, Navy wasn't practice tackling.
Yeah.
So that seems like a lifetime ago almost. It's a different team at this point. But their coach, Ken Niumatalolo, you want to talk about, just Mr. Consistency. He's able to get it done, and every year has his team ready to play. He's got to be one of the best coaches in America at what he does.
And I was very shocked, after his first game against BYU, he came out and said, this is my fault because we didn't do anything live the entire fall camp.
Shocking, yeah.
And he said that we did very little live in the spring, or I don't guess they had spring.
Right, yeah.
But that shocked me, and I know since that happened, he's changed. So they're going to be they're going to be so much better than they were against BYU and Tulane. I worry about our defense. Our offense has got to keep the defense off the field. We have to change a little bit offensively. I know the offensive coaches are going to hate me for saying that, but I'd like to see our offense go out and establish the run, and as long as they can run it, because now the clock's running. And limit the amount of time that Navy has their offense on the field.
And look, last week, Holden Ahlers had his 3 touchdowns, and he did it on 26 attempts.
Yeah.
They were able to establish that run.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't our offense keep the ball last week almost 34 minutes?
Yeah, you had the stat. I mean, they had it for over half the game, and were able to. And when you say keep them off the field, does that mean maybe slow the pace down a little bit? If you're a defensive coach, are you telling your offensive coordinator to?
I tell you what, if we get a lead, snap it with one second.
Every time you look at that play clock, and
really, because the fewer chances you give Navy, the better chance you have to win.
Sure.
Now, but again, that's a thin line. You don't want to change your offense so much to where they're out of sync or they're not doing what they normally do, so, and I understand why sometimes offensive coaches would look at us when I was coaching us and say we can't do that,
Yeah. And then
I didn't understand.
And then what'd you say?
I'd say, well, don't get mad whenever they score 60.
That's on you. All right, one more time, Coach, before we let you go. And there's a lot of keys to stopping Navy, but what would you tell your defense before they take the field on Saturday about facing this option?
I would tell my defense I will not be upset if every touchdown they score is a 12-play drive. Make them earn what they get.
Yeah.
I don't want an 80-yard touchdown play action pass. I don't want a 60-yard run by the fullback right up the middle of the field. They're going to get their yardage, but let's make them get it the hard way. Let's make them earn it. If they have 4 12-play drives, they score 28 or 29 points, that's fine.
And then it's up to the offense to do their part, right, on the other side.
Just make them snap the ball. And the more times they snap it, the more chances we have for them to make a mistake.
Yes, sir. Rick Smith joining us. He'll be here on the U.S. Sailor 5th Quarter Call-In Show. Coach, your first experience of a night game and a win, and when the Pirate fans had the juices flowing a little bit last week. How'd you like that?
I like that. Now, this one's at noon again, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And there's going to be 3,500 fans, so that'll be good. And maybe the next time they'll open it up some more.
I hope so. Hope it keeps getting bigger and bigger, that number. Morgan Ahlers, our next guest, will actually have people to talk to in the stands tomorrow, so he won't be talking to himself. That's a good thing. We got Morgan coming up next here on the show. Coach, thanks for hanging out with us today.
I always enjoy it. Look forward to it every week.
All right, and we'll have Coach Smith in. Next week, Coach, we are off next week. So no football game, and I got a different idea planned for the show for the 4 o'clock hour. But if you want to come at 5, you're welcome. That's up to you. I might give you the week off if you want it.
If I'm in, I'll let you know.
Okay,
my wife
we'll talk to you.
Something about taking me out of town.
Get you out of here with no football game.
But if I'm not out of town,
right,
I'd love to come.
Sounds good.
And
good
you're
deal.
saying Friday versus.
Because there's no game next Saturday,
right?
So yeah,
okay.
So Friday, if you're here, come on in. If not, we'll see you the next week. But we'll see you tomorrow after the game
for sure
on the 5th quarter. All right, let's take a time out. Come back. We'll open up hour number 3 of our program. Morgan Ahlers, voice of Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium, will join me. More Mike Houston comments, and we'll open up the booty bag, a large 2-topping pizza to Domino's, on the line today. It's all ahead in hour number 3 of Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
Hey y'all, it's Lisa with Halloween Express, Greenville's Halloween superstore for 22 years. It's been a crazy year, but Halloween is not canceled. We have everything you need to make this Halloween one to remember. And did someone say mask? Yeah, we have the largest selection of masks in Greenville, plus every other costume you can think of. Come visit our new location in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville. Halloween Express, what are you gonna be?
Love Jersey Mike subs? Love them times 12 with our new catering box. Packed full of a dozen individually wrapped subs. They're yours for the sharing. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
It's Jersey Mike's time. One Club Supreme? Check. What's Aaron's way? Only $2.99 for Pepsi and Lay's? I'm in. Order your sub Aaron's Way on the Jersey Mike's app or visit a Jersey Mike's store.
Humana is proud to serve veterans. If you've recently turned 65 or become Medicare eligible, Humana would be proud to help you with your Medicare decisions or any questions that may arise. Let an agent assist you now to determine which Humana Medicare plan may best serve you. Humana can teach you about health plans, which will provide you with the access to products and programs to help support a healthy life. Humana is proud to be the National Medicare Advantage Plan provider to the veterans of foreign wars.
This is Denise Walker. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
Hidden phone trade-ins, hidden plan requirements, hidden catches. You won't find them at US Cellular because we speak fair. Plus, when you switch right now, you can get the latest phones free. Upgrade to Fair. Upgrade to US Cellular. Requires new postpaid service plan, new line port and credit approval, qualified smartphone purchase, and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month RIC. Taxes, fees, and additional terms apply.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
It's bow time.
You've heard folks say, don't call it a comeback. But the Pork Chop Griller is back at Bojangles, and we don't like to beat around the bush. Because we're talking about a huge, hefty pork chop in all its tender, marinated chili lime glory, served up proud in a fluffy buttermilk biscuit. So we say go ahead, call it a comeback. Pork Chop Grillers are back, only at Bojangles.
It's bow time.
There have been many changes in the automotive world. At Phelps Chevrolet, the Phelps boys are here to take care of you. Mike, Daryl, and 4 of Mr. Phelps' grandsons, Wade, West, Allen, and Clay. You see, things at Phelps remain the same. The Phelps team has served Eastern North Carolina for over 50 years. We make your visit easy and fun. We are your neighbors, and that's what neighbors do. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Like Mr. Phelps' great-granddaughter says, come in and get you one.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, where good health hits home. Visit your CBD store today on Arlington Boulevard across from the mall. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Denise Walker is a licensed insurance agent here in Greenville and can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call Denise today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. And Clip, we just saw a tweet just a few minutes ago concerning Alabama coach Nick Saban. He has been tested again today by doctors, and he has tested negative. And there is a chance that he may still coach on Saturday.
Hell no!
Well, I'm just telling you what I see.
Bit of a touchy subject, perhaps. So he tested positive.
How about these Major League Baseball games?
Hey, Braves win. Braves win. Tested positive earlier in the week and was able to retest.
But he retested.
But at Alabama, they let him retest.
I'm just telling you. I'm just reporting what I see.
Don't shoot the messenger. All right, Morgan Ahlers is here. Hello, Morgan.
Hey, I want to say it was the PCR test that Saban took. It
Paris Campbell Roberts?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was the test that checks to see if you're shedding the virus.
Huh. Okay.
And he got a negative on that.
All right.
So that's the pathway for him to be on the sideline.
Sure, yeah.
I really wanted the shot of Saban in the hospital bed like the Liberty head coach.
Hugh Freeze.
Like Hugh Freeze.
Thumbs up at the top of the stadium.
Just because I know Saban would be miserable in that situation.
Oh, God.
And I enjoy that.
All right, Morgan Ahlers is here. I have some obvious questions that I will ask Morgan on today's program.
But before we get going, I know you got to go to a break. I've got to clarify something from last week.
Okay.
I did the 4 o'clock hour last week. Troy comes in immediately at the 5 o'clock hour and says, man, look at these headphones. These headphones are huge. Morgan got a big old head on that. Well, yeah, Troy, I'm 6'5", 320 pounds. And the reason I got a big head, because I got hair on the top of my head. You can go to break, Shirley.
Once again, would you like some jam with that toast?
Booyah!
Shirley, take us to break. A big hour 3 on the way after this. Hey, Pirate fans, the Papa John's menu has grown again with the all-new grilled buffalo chicken papadilla. The papadillas are part sandwich, part pizza, and are only $6. Choose from the all-new grilled buffalo chicken, Philly cheesesteak, Italian, pepperoni meatball, and barbecue chicken and bacon, all for only $6 each. Also, for a limited time, get any large 5-topping pizza for only $13.99. Place your order today online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2020 Buick Enclave and save over $9,500 off. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Banking is banking until service is not the same. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust, and this year has been unusual, but we have continued to focus on what has always been important to us, our customers. When businesses needed access to the Paycheck Protection Program, our team of local bankers worked around the clock to successfully keep our customers open and their employees working. Wouldn't you like to deal with a bank that is responsive to your needs, can make local decisions, and cares about you, the customer? We are Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Do you think you or your employees might have been exposed to COVID-19? ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy employer solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com. In studio with Bono, also known as Seth Brown to his friends and family. Why do you like F3?
I learned early on in my life that I'm not defined by who I am or I'm type 1 diabetic. I'm not defined as a diabetic. I'm defined by who I hang out with, how hard I push myself, and who I want to become. And F3 helps me do those things. It certainly helps me push myself further than I ever would by myself.
One letter, one number, F3. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
Pirate Radio.
If you're going to put your name on something, it better be your best work.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, where good health hits home. Visit your CBD store today on Arlington Boulevard across from the mall. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. North Carolina state parks are now open for visitors, and parks should be used for exercise, fresh air, getting out in nature, or a day trip. Visitors should enjoy themselves, but please remember to focus on moving through the park, keep social distancing in mind, and avoid large groups. While most facilities and activities will be open, please contact any state park with questions or visit online at ncparks.gov/open. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, a Friday edition, Hour 3, Pirate Radio Live. Welcome back into the program, Clip Rock. Morgan Ahlers here. What you want, Morgan?
More
headphone juice.
There we go.
We got some good weather for tomorrow's game. It appears
it's pretty outside.
It's cool. It got cool outside.
A little cloudy.
I'll tell you what, though, Morgan and I will never stop wearing cargo shorts.
Never.
Don't care what the weather says.
Never.
According to ECU Athletics, tweeted this out. The WNCT Channel 9 game day forecast in the first quarter, expecting 57 degrees, 20% chance of rain.
Yeah, 20% chance of rain.
20% chance of rain. At halftime, 59% chance of rain. No, now I'm screwing up. 59 degrees, 20% chance. Fourth quarter,
59 degrees and
60 degrees, whatever. This is why I don't do weather. This is why I don't even.
You don't do weather?
I don't do weather. How you doing, Morgan?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Been a good week.
It's been a good week.
It's been a good week.
Great.
I'm glad Nick Saban's healthy.
That's great.
I'm glad they tested him again.
I want everybody to be healthy.
Yeah.
All right. How's Holden Ahlers doing right now?
He's doing great. He's had a good week. Classes went well. His workouts have been going good. He's excited about the game tomorrow.
All right. Is that the official Morgan Ahlers statement? Should I move on?
He had a good week of class.
Mm-hmm.
Workouts went well, and he's excited about the game tomorrow.
All right.
Is that all you want to know?
Name 3 things about Holden Ahlers right now.
He had a good week of class. His workouts went well, and he's excited about the game tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Rumors abound.
I'm so glad Nick Saban got tested again.
So testing is a thing that these coaches have to deal with now with all their players and staffs. And if a positive pops up, a player can't be retested.
That's my understanding, but I have no firsthand knowledge.
Right. Okay. Why are you getting text right now?
I'm getting it blown up.
Oh, boy. Are the Pirates playing football tomorrow, Morgan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said Navy's here?
As far as I know.
Game on?
Game on.
All right. There will be a football game at noon at Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. Let's hear more from Mike Houston. We played his opening comments. He said there were no new positive tests regarding COVID on Wednesday. And then he was asked about the contact tracing, and is that a concern with the team? This is cut 3, Shirley, from Mike Houston.
Contact tracing things what gets you. I mean, that is the problem. I can go into some specifics with that a little bit more after Saturday, but that's the deal. That's what's getting everybody.
Yeah, and that is
except Nick Saban. That contact tracing.
Well,
he's no longer at his river. Have you ever seen his lake house?
I'll Google it right now.
You need to Google Nick Saban's lake house.
I need to go to it.
Yeah.
Have you seen it like in person, or you just?
I've just seen it. It's in the mountainous area, Mountain Lake.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
whoa.
You see? Look at that. His boathouse is bigger than most people's houses.
You're right.
Look at this thing. It looks like a castle.
That is.
Google Nick Saban's boathouse, lake house.
Well, I was looking the other day on Twitter. They had a list of the highest paid coaches in college football. He's at the top at $9.3 million a year.
But that's just salary.
Yeah, that doesn't include the incentives.
That doesn't include Aflac. I mean, he's wearing the blue jacket in Aflac commercials now.
I know.
And he doesn't do that for free.
And he makes appearances in movies every now and then.
Yeah.
Did Bill Belichick come on Hard Times? Why is he doing Subway commercials now?
He just likes to cut coats, and you can do the free. You can get free food, and long you will let you cut somebody's jacket.
Yeah, and he said, "I'm all in on that."
He talks more there in those commercials than he has in every press conference so far this year.
True.
Don't you remember the Belichick photo with the Subway sandwich?
Yes, yeah.
That's why he got the deal.
But I thought
so I'm curious if Saban has the Little Debbie deal.
Little Debbie.
That's his favorite. He loves the oatmeal cream pie. That's his favorite snack. He likes that and a Dr. Pepper.
Huh.
Sounds a lot like me.
As we drink,
have a lot in common, me and that guy.
Yeah, I'm healthy. I'm drinking water today. I thought the Belichick thing was on like a commercial TV set. That wasn't like a candid photo, was it?
I took it it looked like just Belichick on a bench with a sandwich.
And it was like a foot long too, right?
He looked very happy with it, though.
It was very.
It's the only time I've ever seen that human happy.
Yeah, he was very pleased with himself eating that sandwich.
Boy, my phone is blowing up.
What's everybody talking about?
This baseball game coming up.
Which one?
That one.
Rays and Astros?
Sure.
Oh, by the way, speaking of baseball, I just got a notification clip. You'll be interested to hear this. A.J. Minter will get the start for Game 5. He will become the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to make his first career start in a postseason game.
No, that should go well for the Braves. He is doing the old opener deal. It's a bullpen game, basically. So when I saw he was starting today, Shirley, I was quite surprised. But I guess that's what they're doing. They're going to try to get him to go two innings.
2 or 3 innings and bring somebody else in, and then, it's okay.
So first start will be in Game 5 of the NLCS.
And then they're playing against the Carrot Top looking guy.
Yes, May.
June.
July?
August?
Dustin May.
Yeah, that's him. He looks like Carrot Top.
He does. He's
true story. Carrot Top used to play the attic at the Comedy Zone years ago.
I've heard
I used to
about
MC
this.
that.
Played at Barton too.
And but he would come in now. I mean, now he's got the place. I think at the Luxor Hotel in Vegas, or he did. He had the permanent residence there and the permanent show when he got all jacked up and got the permanent eyebrows and everything like that. But when he was here, he might have weighed out maybe 150 pounds.
Yeah.
And he carried one of those like luggage suitcase boxes with him.
With all his props in it.
We go hang out and go drink a few drinks at the bars downtown before the show. Great guy.
He
Scott's
got
his name.
Yeah, he got. I remember when I was in college, Carrot Top came to perform. He actually performed at Barton twice while I was in college, and he got banned from the Wilson Walmart because he was because he had gone there to get some props, some things that he needed for props and for a show, and he was with some student representatives from the school and broke off from the group and just basically went haywire in the toy section of the Walmart, and basically started messing around with all the toys and stuff, and basically got himself banned from the Wilson Walmart.
That devastated him because he left North Carolina right after that and went to Las Vegas and became a gazillionaire.
Yeah, I know, right?
And all he wanted to do.
And now he signed a contract with Walmart.
So you go to that Walmart. Well, he was, if you've got your niche, your thing, he was like
He was the
I don't know if he was the only guy, but he was the best at what he did.
And he just basically he had a knack for coming up with, hey, there's a water bottle, let me make a joke about it, and he glued things together, and this is, that's how he did it.
One of my favorite ones is he I can't remember what the joke did, in terms of what the joke was, but he had like a stuffed dog glued to a Frisbee, and he would walk off to the side of the stage and he'd throw the Frisbee and the dog is just spinning around and going across. And for whatever reason, I just thought that was hilarious, but I can't remember what the joke was. Look, let me tell
Shirley,
you.
answer line 3, it's PETA.
PETA who? PETA Griffin?
PETA Griffin.
Who else did you see at the Attic, Morgan, that stood out to you?
Jeff Foxworthy, Rodney Carrington.
Oh, wow.
Ron
What year
White,
are we talking here?
James Gregory.
Rodney Carrington.
Yeah.
Don't look now, Mama's got
Yeah,
it.
man. It was, there was a lot of them that came through.
Wow.
A lot of them, the heyday of the Comedy Zone.
What'd you say? What year? I'm sorry.
That was probably late 80s, early 90s.
You know, it's fun. I didn't know Carrington until like at least mid 2000s. It's crazy how long those guys have been in this.
Yeah, there were a lot of really good comedians that come through there and made a lot of money down the road.
And you were hosting?
Yeah, used to host it.
Did you? How about the bands? Did you do anything with that? I think that was Troy D. Speed. I think he was hosting some.
He did the Comedy Zone actually.
Oh, okay.
I did it, then Jeff Diamond did it, and then Troy did it for a while, and then I took it back over years later when it was at Tiebreakers in the old City Hotel. I did it then too, and it was fun.
Chad Moore tuning in. He says, "How was Holton's week? Do you have any insight?"
Yeah, he had a great week of school. Classes were great. Workouts went well. He's excited about the game tomorrow.
All right, there you go, Chad. That is the answer from Morgan Ahlers, the voice of Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. And this time, Morgan, you do not have to talk to yourself. You'll have a few fans to talk to on Saturday. That's exciting, right?
Yeah.
You wish it was more than 3,000.
Yeah, I think, but how many of those people are going to be in the tower and in the club level seats, that kind of thing? How loud it will be? I think all the tickets are going to be in the lower bowl sections of Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. But hey, it's better than the 44 people that came from Central Florida the first game out of their 100 tickets.
Right.
We counted. Now look, I guess he didn't hear. He was talking about his. And never mind, Troy is buzzing me.
Troy, could you not text the guest during the show, please?
I lose my train of thought and my headset, falls off my head because I've got hair to hold it on my head, so it's okay.
All right, let's talk about last week, Morgan. Let's celebrate a Pirate victory.
Yeah,
I've
that
called
was a
it
fun trip.
In what way, other than football? What'd you do? Oh, how was the food,
dude?
You didn't send me any pictures,
dude. I was too busy eating.
Was it great? What'd you have?
We had the roast beef, we had the fried chicken, and we had the chicken and dumpling things. I didn't eat those. I'm not.
I don't really like dumplings.
I'm not a big dumpling guy. I like the chicken and pastry. I've gotten to like that. Sarah does a good job cooking that. But then we had like candy yams and vegetables, and then they had the ooey gooey butter cake for dessert. If you go there, I'm telling you.
This was Paula Dean's spot in Savannah, you said?
The Bag Lady, Paula Dean's, Bag Lady and Sons, yeah.
What else was cool about the trip? They didn't let you on the pirate ship.
No, they would not let me on the pirate ship. What interesting, if you watch the NFL games, you see the people, they're scattered throughout the stadium. And what they're doing is the seats that you can't sit in, they've got big zip ties around them. So they're holding the seats up in place, and you can't can't use them. So and they know which ones are available, and that's where they put you. But other than that, it was a nice trip going down and coming back. Stopped a few places, ran into some weather. But other than that, it was fun.
I've called it one of Holton Ahlers' most efficient games because 3 touchdowns in 26 attempts. 3 touchdowns and 17 completions. When he needed to throw and get big plays, he got them, and it was great to see him hook up with his former Conley Viking teammate C.J. Johnson on that big play. But the passing game, Morgan, was really helped out by the running game, and it kind of all goes back to the offensive line having their best game of the year.
We talked about it last week. If you have your quarterback playing better, your running backs playing better, your line, your receivers, everybody played better. And the line, hats off to them. They did a good job. I thought Donnie Kirkpatrick did a good job of mixing up. They put some different things in they hadn't done up to this point last year. They did so far this year. They ran a little bit of motion, put some guys in motion. They did a lot of shifting. They moved receivers around, so CJ
in the slot
wasn't always on the left side. Yeah. Blake was, so it made the defense play honest, and the motion I think helped well. They actually started running some RPO stuff and put rolling Holton out of the pocket on design plays. I thought that helped, and it was fun to watch. I was very proud of the way he played. I thought that he was in command of the game for the most part. Several of those incompletes or throwaways that needed to be thrown away at the time, and some passes that coulda, shoulda, wouldas. But other than that, I thought it was a good game, running game. It was fun to watch. Raji, I'm telling you, I said this last year. The first time I saw him at one of the basketball games, they introduced the freshman. He was wearing a pair of shorts. His thighs are massive. I mean, he looks like one of those guys that an Earl Campbell type back with speed and slashing ability, and he
a little more recently. Maurice Jones-Drew had those giant, kind of shorter, and just giant thighs.
Yes, and he's in that same mold. I think he's just going to get. It's fun to watch.
I remember too, Morgan. We weren't able to go out there this fall camp, so I didn't get to see much, and you didn't get to see much, but you might have an insider or two. But the Keaton Mitchell thing, like he would break off a big run in a scrimmage, and then the next scrimmage he'd have good numbers again. And my thought was, okay, this is like a spring darling type of thing. And I remember you telling me, like, no, I think this might be real. Like this kid is going to play and might have something here.
From what I can gather from my sources inside Pirate Camp, my source. He's one of these guys and he's not the biggest guy in the world. He's very, he's strong. He's a track guy, but when he gets the football, he can hit the hole so fast that he can get through there before the defense is able to close that hole up. Sometimes a running back takes a step or two to get going, and by that point, the guys can grab him. He can hit it, and he can hit the hole fast, and he can go. He's going to be an exciting player for the Pirates.
And wanted to talk about this too. Let's hit cut 7, Shirley. I thought this was a good question and a good answer from Coach Houston. He was asked how Darius Penix and Demetrius Mooney, of course Mooney's been out, but how has Penix handled the young running backs coming in, taking their snaps, and being part of that backfield? It might be tough for some kids. How have those guys handled it?
Well, I mean, I think it takes a lot of – it's one of those things, and I've seen a lot of different situations over the years where guys did not handle something like that very well, and when they don't handle it very well, it usually does not go well for them moving forward. I've seen a lot of situations where guys, just like Darius and Demetrius, where they're handling it well, continue to compete and embracing whatever roles they may have, and usually works out really, really well for those individuals. And it's a deal where, Darius is going to be a huge part of our offense every week. He's going to carry the football as a running back. He is going to, be a receiver out of the backfield. He did a great job for us last week, in the run game as a blocker and the pass game as a blocker. He also did a great job on special teams. Demetrius, we've talked about a good bit. He battled. He really got behind during preseason camp and early in the season, dealing with some issues where he couldn't practice. And he's just now getting, back to be full stride. And so he had a great game last week on special teams. He's going to be in the rotation possibly this week. So, both those guys have handled themselves just as good as I could ask, and really appreciate the fact that they're both here and handling things that way.
And that's awesome to hear. And I said last week on the 5th quarter, don't be mistaken. I mean, Darius Penix has a role on this football team, and a big role. And last week, Morgan, 4th down, right, and goal, they go for it. He catches a touchdown pass. There was a 4th and 1. He runs the ball for a first down. When it's money time, when you need him to get a yard or two, Penix is your guy, and it's great to hear that he's accepted his role. And again, I think he's got a big role on this team.
He does. Darius is such a good player. He's big. He's strong. He's got really good hands. I think he's one of those physical running backs that could play a fullback, maybe at the next level. You get there where he can put on another 15 pounds, and he's not the speed guy anymore, but he can go out there and he can block. And that's one of the things too, I will say, the running backs last week did a really good job of blocking and picking up the blocks. And it was fun to watch the sidelines last week. Yes, we were winning. Yes, we got up early, but watching those linemen pull for each other, that was really, they needed that last week. They needed the ability to, do it and go out there and make a block. The 47-yard touchdown run that Raji had, if you watch that play back, the linemen, they pulled on that play and he hit the hole, and one of the linemen was like 3 or 4 yards down the field making a block that really sprung him. And they came back over afterwards, and they're all high-fiving each other. The receivers are over there. The linemen were over there. And that was fun to watch, and I felt really good for those guys.
And, Morgan, you were optimistic last Friday or last Thursday when we talked to you, and I admitted it was tough for me to be optimistic after what happened against Georgia State. I got to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff and the players. Mike Houston talked about how great the week of practice was, how great the final 48 hours of preparation was. He was able, after that loss in Atlanta, to get those kids back up and back together, and they went out and they dominated it. And I said it during the game. You saw it live. They look like a real football team out on the field. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they look sharp on Saturday.
They did. In South Florida, minus a few players, was the same team that came in here to Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium last year and beat us.
Yeah.
I mean, that was basically the same team, different coaching staff, but it is what it is. But that was the same team, and their line was about the same, and our guys really took it to them. And I'm very proud of those guys last week.
All right, Shirley, let's go to break. As we do, we got to make somebody a winner.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Clippy, 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 clippy everywhere. Give away something, boy.
Let's do a large 2-topping pizza to Domino's of Greenville. 3 locations in Greenville to serve you. Not one.
1, 2, 3.
Correct. And we will make you a winner. Large 2-topping, caller 12-317-1250. Back with more on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey, this is Chef David Finelli from Pop's Old Fashioned Cheeseburgers. Today I'm going to tell you about our family meal deals for 4 hungry adults. We offer Finelli's Cafe lasagna, chicken parmesan, eggplant parmesan, spaghetti and meatballs, our hamburger steak and gravy with mashed potatoes, pork chops. If you'd like to order, please go to our Pop's Old Fashioned Cheeseburgers Facebook page or our website. Choose your meal, order online, pay online, roll up, and we'll get it right out to your car. Thank you from the Pops crew.
Hey guys, this is Amanda from the Man Cave. Do you need your hair cut, or what about a beard trim? The Man Cave is the newest spot just for you. I'm the local owner, and my goal is to make sure you have a place to be pampered and treated like a man. We don't have the girly stuff. Our cave is masculine. Enjoy a game of pool or free snacks or adult beverages during your service. The Man Cave is now open next to Lighting by Design on Fire Tower Road in Greenville.
May 2020. A riot erupts in downtown Greenville. Small businesses are looted. The county courthouse windows are smashed. American flags are torn down and burned. Liberal State House candidate Brian Farkas refused to condemn the violence. Instead, Farkas attacked our police by calling for a radical statewide oversight committee that would bypass our local elected sheriff and district attorney. Farkas even took a $5,400 donation from a group which explicitly seeks to defund our local police at a time when we need them most. State Representative Dr. Perrin Jones has taken a different approach. He's working with Democrats and Republicans in Pitt County to institute meaningful reforms that protect victims of crime and the rule of law, all while honoring those who put their lives on the line for us every day.
I'm Dr. Perrin Jones, and I'll stand up for our boys here in Pitt County and across North Carolina.
Dr. Perrin Jones for State House, paid for by supporters of Perrin Jones.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-styled restaurant and bar. Join us at the Rick House for mouth-watering steaks and the best burgers around. Check out the spicy mahi risotto or the bourbon pecan salmon. Wednesday night is date night. 2 salads, an appetizer, a bottle of wine, 2 entrees, and a dessert for just $55. Thursday is ladies' night with $5 martinis and special apps. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville. The Rick House.
2020 certainly hasn't been the year many of us were hoping for, but one thing has stayed the same. I'm Tim Sutton with Greenville Auto World, and our commitment to our customers has never wavered. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Your vehicle is a big investment, and our customers trust us to keep them up and running with outstanding service and value. For Greenville Auto World, cross from Hardee's at Bell's Fork.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville across from Ron Ayers Motorsports and in Chocowinity next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
Temperatures are in the low 30s at 10 a.m., increasing sharply to 75 degrees by 1 p.m., and then dropping into the teens by 10 p.m. So before you go to work, put on some gloves, pack some shorts, and a parka. That should cover you for the day.
Your heating and cooling is taking a beating. Guarantee your family's comfort all fall and winter with a new Train system. It's hard to stop a train. For a limited time, get a new Train system with 0% financing for 60 months. Go to DelcorInc.com for more information. Delcor, the service professionals. See your independent Train dealer for details. Call 1-888-534-6898 for details.
This is Coach Gary Overton, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, where good health hits home. Visit your CBD store today on Arlington Boulevard across from the mall. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Got damage? Damage from wood rot? Fixed. Damage from smoke or fire? Fixed. Damage caused by water? Fixed. If you've got damage, use a contractor that works for you and not your insurance company. Visit fixednc.com today or call 999-0001. That's 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Fixed NC, restore, renew, maintain. And congratulations to Ramey Stians of Greenville. Got the Domino's Pizza, the large 2-topping pizza from Domino's of Greenville. They have 3 locations to take care of you every day. All 3 topping pizzas are only $7.99 each for carry-out only. Order online today at Domino's.com. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, hold up, Morgan. We got to do a booth review here. We got to have a referees conference on this.
Time out. Let's go to the replay.
Extend into a full. Is the referee, Ramey, eligible to win this prize?
The ACC and the SEC's office have just sent us a message. Yes, because we're not officially affiliated with East Carolina. He can win the pizza.
Ramey Steins, thanks for tuning in. Great guy. In fact,
coach of Brown and Wood, by the way.
Hopefully a future guest. I said this to Troy D. When I went out to Elm Street to do a game, and I saw Coach Steins and his son out there coaching.
Ramey, text me, and I'll hook you and Clip up.
I said, I want to get Ramey Steins on out of season and just have a great interview with him about all the characters he's met along the way.
I'll do it during the
season. Will you be the middleman?
Yeah, Ramey, text me right now if you're listening. I know you're listening because you just want a pizza.
But the one game I filled in, or I've done it, but the first game I filled in for you, Morgan, at Minji's, it was...
Was Trey calling it?
It was Joe Dooley on my left. It was Dan Hurley screaming on my right, and TV Teddy Valentine doing the game. And I was like, this is all, like, these characters are right in front of me. And you've seen it a million times with your spot at Minji's, but just all the coaches he's come across and all the colorful characters. Yeah. Well, I'd love to hear stories about that.
You can do that.
Who's your favorite guys to watch in Minji's? Like, who are the most animated refs and coaches?
Well, the incident that to me stands out the most was when Floyd got tossed.
Tim Floyd, and
that was hilarious. And they had to get the police. I mean, he was on the court, and it was awesome.
I don't know if they had to get the police. I thought that was a little overkill that they escorted him off by a cop. Like, it was like he was going to get arrested for getting kicked out of a game.
They did that more for his security than anything else.
Like for fans or whatever.
The 3 fans that were there that night could have, because I think it was Texas El Paso.
It was UTEP, yeah. And didn't like the assistant get tossed too? Like a bunch of people got tossed in that skirmish. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. There's been a lot of good moments.
I tell you what, Morgan, I might buy in. Joe Dooley had a Zoom yesterday. I talked to Jaden Gardner. I got kind of fired up for hoops. I think they got
he's the kind of guy you look at him. Ramey's just sent me a message.
All right,
but yep, I'm going to send you Clip's number, Ramey. You guys rock. Have a good time. Good luck tomorrow. And Kersey. Our buddy Kersey, who is now one of the supervisors, I think, in one of the leagues. I think it's the ACC, if I'm not mistaken, was in that game. He was refereeing that game.
Oh, wow. Okay, great.
But, what were we talking about?
ECU hoops.
Yeah. I think Joe's got a really good bunch of guys playing for him now. And last year he brought in the 11 players, and they were all learning each other, learning the university, learning how to play for Coach Dooley. Now they've been there for a year and a half, and I'm excited. Jaden Gardner, man, I'm telling you, I remember watching him play South Central here in high school in the Eastern Regionals, and I was like, man, this kid's got a chance to be really good. I mean, because he was fearless around the basket, even going against taller players. And Jaron Sharp, who's now at Carolina, played in that game and wasn't afraid to go right at him. And I was like, and then his freshman year, sophomore year, now he's a junior, player of the year in the AAC.
I asked him about Jaden and how he's still the same guy as he was when he got here, attitude-wise, where he doesn't get a big head. He's the hardest worker on the team, not just the best player. One bad thing about Gardner, Dooley said, he's a Cowboys fan. Oh, nobody's perfect, so that's the one.
What is Dooley? Is Dooley a Washington football club team?
I asked Jaden Gardner about that, and he said, "Coach is a Giants fan. I had to tell him that 2-3 is better than 0-5." So Joe is not happy with this football season. Morgan Ahlers.
Well, I can understand that.
Yeah. What are you? Panthers? Are you anything?
I've become more. I've been a Panthers fan for a while. I'm more now a player fan. Mm-hmm. There's certain teams I like some of the players that are out there, and it's just
Morgan likes to talk junk to everybody equally, so he doesn't want his own team. He hates everybody.
No, I mean I'm pulling for the Panthers. I was a big Luke Kuechly fan. I like McCaffrey. Hopefully he'll come back soon. And I
tell you what, that kid, the Davis kid.
Oh, they're playing well. It's giving this injury is giving opportunities for players to shine that probably wouldn't have had that chance before. Now that's going to make the Panthers even better.
Do you remember that game at South Carolina where ECU was hanging in, and then they got a late score to cut it to 7. They cut it to one possession, and then South Carolina gave it to Mike Davis like 14 times on one drive, and he bled the clock.
Yep.
And I'm glad because he had a terrible injury after that. I'm glad to see him doing well with the Carolina Panthers. All right, Morgan, how are we going to stop the option on Saturday?
Lock the door in the locker room and only allow the offense out. When the defense goes in there before the offense, you shut it and you throw away the key.
You've been there for some of these games and some of these bad home games, Morgan. The 76 stands out, obviously. But
a true story. A friend of mine was up in the booth with us that night, and his son was on the crew that pulled up the Aflac net during
extra
points. Yeah. And he gets a text message in the fourth quarter. His son said, "I got blisters on my hand."
That's rough. That's like when you do the cheerleaders do push-ups after touchdowns, and once you start scoring 50, 60, 70, you get a little tired. The net guy was feeling it that day because Alexander Teach, the fullback, kept running it right up the middle.
It's Edward's son.
the Pirate came back to bite us on that day. But Morgan, we've seen, and look, I think Blake Harrell has a great plan and knows what he's doing, but his line of the week was, it doesn't matter what I know, it's what I can teach the kids, right?
And I heard you talking with Coach Smith as I was driving in today. You were talking about the preparation. And this is one of those weird years because you got to remember the players didn't start working out together until the end of July. Mm-hmm. The last week in July, I think, is when East Carolina really started their practices. So, you didn't have any spring ball. You didn't have a coaching staff being able to work with your players like you could normally in a summertime workout. You have a certain amount of hours a coach can get out there without a football and work out, which is bizarre to me.
Right. You also had 2 pauses in that little work time.
And you couldn't work out at that point. So, Coach, Harrell has to get his defensive scheme in. Then he has to start working on the defense against Navy, and it's very difficult to get that in. And what makes the service academies so hard to defend, the Armies and Navies especially, is that the guys that go there and the ladies that go to these academies are incredibly smart people anyway. And they use these offenses so they can neutralize the disadvantage they have in size and talent in a lot of cases, and hopefully, be very competitive. But when these guys learn this offense and learn this defense that they run, it's very multiple, and they change it up a lot at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to try, they're going to try to not only take East Carolina's passing game, I think, away, but they're also going to try to confuse the Pirates from a defensive standpoint that Navy will. But when the offense guys get on the field and start running and cut blocking, they know this offense as good as anybody's going to know it. They know the angles to take. They know, and you're going to see a lot of chop blocking. And last year we were up there and it was brutal. I mean, these guys, they try to minimize the disadvantage they have maybe physically to stay in the game. So, it's always tough playing a service academy.
And we think about their offense so much. Their defense was really good last year, and were really good against the Pirates last year. And you said that Holden commented on what they do pre-snap, and Holden does his read and checks and makes the correct call. And then right before they snap the ball, Navy's already switched again. They do a lot of different things to mess with the quarterback's head.
They do, and that's not only the quarterback, but it's the center as well.
Right.
Because the center is basically the quarterback of the line. He's making his line checks and
who to block,
and that kind of thing. And all of a sudden, if they move once, and the center, for instance, makes a call, and then all of a sudden, right before the snap, the line moves again, and that guy's not there to block, then you're like, okay, I got to do something.
ECU is going to have to keep up in points. They're going to have to run the football again. And Mike Houston talked about the great week that Keaton Mitchell and Raji Harris had last week at practice. He was asked if those guys have followed that up with another good week. Let's cut forward, Shirley.
They have. They've had a great week. Now, I'll say this. And it reminds me of when I was playing in college. You go from playing in high school, and then you play a little bit, and in that first game where you play a large number of reps, I mean, the next day you feel like you've been hit by a Mack truck. So now Sunday, they knew they played a college football game on Saturday, and so that was something that they had to get used to, which is the reason why we do some of the things we do on Sunday. But came back, had a really solid week. Excited about those guys, and they're ready to go on Saturday.
Fantastic performance by the young kids on Saturday, and the running back room all of a sudden is stacked. And not even talking about Chase Hayden, who I still think will have a role on this team before the year's over. Morgan, we'll see, but you got to like what you got out of these backs right now.
It's a stacked back room.
Stack back.
But it's fun to watch these guys have success. It's fun to watch the line have success last week, and they need to continue it tomorrow, because I'm going to tell you, you've got to keep Navy's offense off the field. You've got to control the clock. Now, I guess there's two ways of looking at it. You can try to ground and pound it and try to throw the ball around a little bit, move the ball down the field, have an 8-9 minute drive like we had I think we had an 8-minute drive at the end of the game last week against USF. But then you also, excuse me, you can say, well, we're down there, we score, and we can go down there quick and score. It puts pressure on our defense, but it also, if we can get up enough on these guys, it throws them out of their offense. They have to start throwing it.
As hard as it is to come back on them, if you can get them down by a couple scores, you're in good shape.
You're in good shape at that point.
Unless you're Tulane.
I was going to say, unless you're Tulane. I remember watching the beginning of that game, and I'm like, okay, this game's over with. I turn the channel and I come back. I'm like, whoa, this game's not over with.
One weapon on the Pirate team that sometimes is overlooked is the kicker, Jake Verity, who has had an amazing career here at ECU, breaking the school record and the scoring record. And Mike Houston was asked about his thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, it's achieving any kind of career record like that is a sign of just outstanding play over a extended period of time. It's not a one-year thing. A career thing like that means he's been doing a great job for several years. And certainly, this year has been chaos. It's going to continue to be chaos. And how that impacts him is, he did not have the training that he typically would have coming into the season. He's no different than any of the other guys. It's hard to replicate what Coach Williams and his staff do for the student athletes here. And so, for him to still perform at a high level, and he's had some issues. He's had some issues where he's not been at full strength, but he's continued to perform at a very, very high level. So I just think everybody's excited for him, proud of him, and, we're fortunate to share the moment with him.
He has been fantastic, Morgan, and a major weapon. The Pirates have not been in a close game this year. They've been on the wrong side of it twice, and they blew out South Florida last week. So it hasn't come down to a kick quite yet, but when it does, everybody's got confidence in Jake Verity.
Yeah, Jake's such a good kicker, and I think he's going to have a career after East Carolina in the NFL. He's that consistent, that good. Just keeps working at it, keeps grinding, and that's what teams want in the NFL. They want a kicker that is consistently consistent. Unlike, some of these guys, they can hit a 75-yarder, but then they go in and they miss a 15-yarder. And you want the guy that's going to go out there and kick that 40 to 50-yarder in the NFL and, be consistent that you can count on when the going gets tough. And Jake Verity's that guy.
Last year, Morgan, when the offense got clicking, we saw big numbers from the quarterback Holden Ahlers. C.J. Johnson got going, Tyler Snead. But also in one or two plays in those games, the last half of last year, Josiah Hatfield made an impact. And we haven't seen any of him this year, but looks like he's back at practice and could be back on the field. And Cut H. Shirley talked about Josiah Hatfield returning.
Yeah, it was good to see him back. He made a couple plays today in practice where, you could tell a full-speed rep did a great job making some big plays in the secondary. So, excited to have him.
And Morgan, he's the guy that for some games last year, they would design at least one or two plays just to get him the ball and let him use his athleticism. And look, the Pirates had it rolling last week on offense. Another good player added to that is a good thing for this team.
Yeah, Josiah is one of those guys that has speed. And I remember years ago, Bobby Bowden was talking about some of his players at Florida State. He says, I can coach them up, but I can't teach speed. And he's got speed. Keaton Mitchell's got it. I remember last year in the SMU game, if you go back and watch, they had a pass set up for him over the middle. It was a touchdown, a long pass from Holton to him, and he just got past the guy and just was out. And Holton threw it out there, and he ran up underneath it and caught it for a touchdown. And hopefully that'll happen again tomorrow.
He is a burner. Good to see Tyler Snead and Blake Prohl. Of course, we mentioned CJ, but those two guys consistent, 3 and 4 catches respectively last week. And how about CJ hooking up with Holton, and should have had more. CJ dropped a touchdown and dropped another pass that could have been a big play, but he had his struggles the first 2 weeks. I was glad to see CJ get going last week.
Yeah, CJ has all the potential to be as good as anybody in college football. Remember, an old coach of mine said potential is the most dangerous word in the sporting world because everybody's got it, few develop it. And, CJ's got it. And when he, gets out there, he caught the long one last week. He had a couple, more good catches last week. He had a couple shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
Yeah.
But I think, he's bouncing back and looking forward to see what he can do tomorrow.
Shane Calhoun, 1 catch, 25 yards last week. Zach Bird, 1 catch, 2 yards. And maybe you saw it being there, Morgan, the tight ends and what they did in the blocking game. Not much in the receiving game, but what have you noticed from the tight ends through 3 weeks?
I've noticed that they have been doing bringing more into the pass protection. Mm-hmm. Last week they did, and they were doing a lot of movement with the tight ends last week. They were moving them from one side to the other, putting them in motion a little bit. The one pass play to CJ in the corner when Holton did the little pump fake to Snead actually lined up behind him and then went into motion lineup. It looked like a fake screen the way they were setting up, and had 2 tight ends on one side, and they did a good job of selling that. Mm-hmm. The whole play was a well-designed play, and CJ broke open, threw it to a little fade to the corner for the touchdown. And those guys have been doing a good job blocking, not necessarily always at the line of scrimmage, but downfield too, and helping that running game get going last week.
And look, everything got going last week, including the defensive side of the ball. How about no sacks through 2 weeks, and they get 5 last week, Morgan, and it became contagious. Those guys were flying around.
They were. I thought Chris Willis did a good job last week. Remember the week before he gets in the first, I think it was the first series, he gets hit for a targeting penalty. Yep. He was gone. He makes a big difference on that defense. He's an experienced player, a guy that's played a lot of football when he was at Appalachian State. He'll have another year next year to play as well. So he's loving it. He thought he only had one more year of college football play. Now he's got another year to play. And these guys are going out and doing their thing and flying around to the football and making good tackles, and they were really forcing a disruption of the USF offense last week, and I thought that was a big key.
Aaron Ramsor, Xavier Smith, you had Wilson and Chad Stevens. I think the linebackers played their best game of the season. You're really going to need them again tomorrow when you take on a team like Navy, Morgan.
Yeah, it's assignment football. You hear it all the time when you play the service academies. It's assignment football. You've got to make sure you take care of your quarterback, your fullback. It's going to be tough. it's not fun to watch if you're a fan of the opposing team, but when you're watching this team just as a fan, when they play somebody else and they really get rolling, like last year when they had Perry at quarterback,
man,
I'm telling you, it was something to behold when that offense was clicking.
Well, the good news is they don't have Malcolm Perry, they don't have Keenan Reynolds, they don't have the Dobbs from back in the day. Like, they're still Navy, but they do not have that dynamic QB that they've had in some of these meetings. So that's good news for Pirate fans.
But for Pirate fans, and I shouldn't say this because I'm going to jinx us, but sometimes we have a habit of making a Clip Brock who comes in and starts at quarterback. All of a sudden, he looks like he's the best thing to play since Glenn Griffin. I'm just
way to use names. Remember, like NC State was really struggling one year. Daniel Evans came in here and threw for like 400 yards, and it was so. And ECU was the favorite. It seemed like every time they played State, the underdog would win. But there has been a history, and their Pirate fans older than me and even younger than me can run down the list of like backups or
quarterbacks,
guys you weren't expecting.
You're going like Ali Day, man. Their starting quarterback fell off a skateboard and broke his leg in 12 places, and the second string broke his leg, and now they got the water boy coming in, and the water boy,
lights it up.
He throws one pass with his right arm, breaks it, and then he's throwing left-handed the rest of the game, and he throws for 450 yards.
That happened, folks.
It did.
Morgan was there on PA that day.
No, I wasn't at PA. I was tailgating. Maybe it didn't happen. I was tailgating too much.
Let's take our final time out. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up with Morgan Ahlers. We'll get a score prediction from Morgan, and I'll ask him one more time, what's the status of Holden Ahlers, and how did his week go? We'll find out right after this.
Break news.
It's a story that started in a community like ours. Cal Cunningham grew up in Lexington, where church youth groups working at the local brickyard and McDonald's shaped his life. And now Cal's running a different kind of campaign for the U.S. Senate.
I'm Cal Cunningham. I want my service in the U.S. Senate to be about listening and going places where Democrats don't always go. That's what I learned growing up in Lexington, where we don't check voter registration before taking care of our neighbors. We believe in hard work and service, just like the soldiers I served with overseas.
Cal Cunningham volunteered after 9/11, a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve who served 3 tours and took on corrupt government contractors. And Cal will take on the corruption in Washington that's been rigging the system for the drug and insurance companies. That's why Cal's not taking corporate PAC money, because he believes the top 1% don't need more favors. It's regular folks who need a voice. He'll be a senator on our side.
I'm Cal Cunningham, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Cal for NC.
Did you know your small change can make a difference? The next time you visit McDonald's, please consider rounding up for the Ronald McDonald House. Your change adds up and can help many folks in Eastern North Carolina. Just $10 can provide a free night stay for families with sick children here in Eastern North Carolina and across the state. Just ask your cashier at checkout or choose to round up for RMHC when ordering through the McDonald's app. Thank you for visiting your local McDonald's owned by Dixon Foods and for your support of the Ronald McDonald House of Eastern North Carolina. Are you trying to reduce clutter? Want to save a tree? Greenville Utilities can help. E-bill is a simple solution. Imagine getting an email letting you know your bill is ready. And with a few clicks on your computer or smartphone, you can review and pay your bill. It's just that easy. Signing up is simple. All you need to do is to log on to your account at guc.com and update your contact information and e-bill setting. You can even continue to receive a paper bill if you'd like. E-bill from Greenville Utilities. Just one of the ways GUC is here for you.
This is Dr. Chris Hasty from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center of Greenville. We have been the team physicians for ECU Athletics for over 35 years. We offer a variety of services for the athlete, including non-operative and operative care, including the latest in arthroscopic surgery, physical therapy, and diagnostic testing. For experienced and professional care for athletes of all ages, visit our offices on W.H. Smith Boulevard in Greenville or online at orthoeast.com. Orthopedics East, providing complete care for ECU and athletes of all ages.
The Frells family lives on a lush piece of land called greener pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frells family runs with us, because this is more than just land, it's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Get quality at every turn with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer, with 27 locations in North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Find out more at qualityequip.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Discover a new wave of refreshment. Crafted using seltzer water, 5% alcohol, and a hint of fruit. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with natural flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, 2019 Chicago. Visit whiteclaw.com for full nutritional information.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now, during hurricane season, is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Pirate Radio.
All of our last names are ECU.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, where good health hits home. Visit your CBD store today on Arlington Boulevard across from the mall. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Your CBD store is the largest CBD retailer in the country and is now offering curbside pickup and free shipping for online orders. Your CBD store has the highest quality, all-natural products with no chemicals. They're located on Arlington Boulevard next to Duck Donuts, and you can go online at cbdrx4u.com. Your CBD store, Greenville, where good health hits home. And taking a look at your stock market report for the week, the Dow was up 112 points and closed at 28,606. The NASDAQ was down 42 at 11,671, and the S&P was up 0.4 of a point at 3,483. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. And as we head back in to the show clip, I just saw a tweet from Tom McClellan. On this day 10 years ago, Damon Magazoo made his first career start and ended up picking off Russell Wilson in overtime to beat the Pack in Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. That happened 10 years ago today.
What a game it was. You know, it was the color analyst on TV for that game on CBS Sports Network.
No, I do not.
Mike Leach. I remember he had gotten recently fired, and he was doing the color analysis there for that game. That was a great game in Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. It'd be fun to have another one of those tomorrow.
Do you think Mike Leach's team, I think, who are they playing this week? Are they playing...
Is it A&M?
Yeah, it's Texas A&M. Think there'll be a lot of points scored in that one?
I'm going to go over 2.5 this week.
I like it. Okay, thank you.
They had 2.
That was my final pick. Thank you.
Oh, okay, good. Well, they need a bounce back. You know how many they scored last week?
Yeah,
they had 2.
That ain't going to happen.
You like football, Morgan?
I love football.
There's a game starting in 2 minutes. SMU at Tulane.
Over.
I might have just, I like the over. BYU Houston coming up tonight. ECU and Navy coming up Saturday at noon. Morgan, one more time. Holden Ahlers, how's he doing?
He had a great week. His classes went well. He's doing great. Had some good workouts this week, and is excited about the game tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. What's your score for tomorrow's game?
I think tomorrow is going to be a 28-24 kind of game.
Can we keep Navy under 30? That'd be a win in my book.
I think so.
All right, I like it. Thanks for hanging out, Morgan.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Always enjoy it. Shirley, great job all week. Big Dog, same to you.
We'll see you in the morning.
Great job.
Yeah, we will.
Hey, are you guys excited about the Tulsa game in a couple of weeks?
Excitement time.
Excitement time.
9 o'clock kickoff. Post-game show starts at 12:30.
12:45.
No, I'm not excited. Thank you for asking.
I saw that, and 2 things that came to my mind. I know Holton's going to love flying back into Greenville when the sun comes up.
Oh, yeah.
And 2, how long is that post-game show going to last?
I don't know. Why don't you join us for it?
I'll be here.
Huh?
I'll be in town.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
All right. Glenn, biscuits tomorrow morning? Biscuits? Yeah.
All right.
I'll be here. All right. I'm ready to go. We'll see you folks bright and early, 8 a.m. on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Thanks for tuning in. For Glenn Griffin, Shirley Rhodes, Morgan Ahlers, I'm Clip Brock. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of The Voice. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1.
Channel 206, and also the radio.com application.